major loss. The Rangers were at their offensive best against the Maple Leafs, exploding for a season-high 8 goals, including 4 power play goals, 2 by John O'Grodnick, who went over the 40-goal mark. But the excitement of the win was tempered by the loss of all-star defenseman Brian Leetch, who went down in the first period suffering a broken ankle. He's out for the rest of the season. The New York Islanders have problems of their own. They haven't won a game since February 10th in Boston. Coach Al Arbour knows his team must start winning now if they hope to make the playoffs. The Islanders have fallen to 5th place in the Patrick Division, losing games in heartbreaking fashion, like Thursday night in Philadelphia when Ilka Sinisalo scored with just 31 seconds left. The Islanders look to get back into playoff position. The Rangers hope to tighten their hold on first place when the teams go at it today.
Madison Square Garden Network presents New York Rangers Hockey. Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. By the professionals at Payne Weber. And by today's GWA. Find out how good we really are.
And where this afternoon the New York Rangers beat the New York Islanders live at the Nassau Coliseum. Hello everyone, I'm Sam Rosen along with John Davidson. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
What a closet, Irishman.
That was the best I could find. Well, this should be an exciting game this afternoon. Last game of the regular season between these two teams. John, the Rangers obviously concerned about the loss of Brian Leetch, and who will pick up the slack for Brian Leetch's absence? And certainly a lot of the load will fall onto James Patrick.
Oh, I think just naturally a lot of the load goes towards James Patrick. He was a second leading scoring defenseman among defensemen. Leetch had 5 more points than James Patrick at the time of the injury. Sam, in my opinion, you have James Patrick, who has 443 games experience, regular season games that is. I mean, he's an experienced player. He'll play well. He's played well all season long. But if everybody expects one player in particular to take off his uniform and put on Superman uniform, the team will suffer. The Rangers have been a team-oriented team all season long. Everybody just has to play up to their capabilities and try and get along in that respect.
Rangers have made a roster move, calling up defenseman Todd Charlesworth from Flint. He's had previous NHL experience.
Yes, he's in his 7th-year pro. He played a lot of games in Pittsburgh in the past, yet he hasn't played in the National Hockey League for 2 seasons. He's a person, Sam, that played about 35 minutes per game in Flint, the Rangers farm team. Here, Roger Nielsen expects to use him 5 to 6 minutes per period, and Roger Nielsen will judge if Charlesworth can play more than that.
The Islanders are winless in their last 14. If they make the playoffs, if they are to make the playoffs, they have to hurry, John, and the man who has to lead them is Pat Lafontaine.
Well, right now the Islanders are 4 points out of a playoff spot. Lafontaine needs just 2 to get the 50 spot. Now, when you prepare your team to play the Islanders, you have to make your line changes smartly, especially since you're on the road. And remember that Lafontaine is double shifted a lot. His hand feels strong. He doesn't even wear the padding on the outside of that glove anymore. He's a person that plays a lot on the point, on the power play, and he's very good with the wraparound. In other words, he'll stand in behind the other team's goaltender and wait for the puck and go to his left side or to his right side. The Rangers have done a lot of scouting preparing for Lafontaine, but he's a great player. It should be fun to watch him play.
He scored his first 2 points since coming back from the hand injury in the game against Philadelphia, but he's still looking for those 2 goals to reach the 50-goal mark. John Vanbiesbrouck in goal for the Rangers this afternoon. Mark Fitzpatrick for the Islanders. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll be set to go in just a moment. Welcome back to the Nassau Coliseum. The New York Rangers in first place in the Patrick Division with 78 points. The Islanders in 5th place with 65 points. And a little last-minute cleanup of some excess water. John Vanbiesbrouck is in goal, coming off a loss last Monday night against the LA Kings.
And he didn't have a strong game in that game, Sam. It was a 6-3 loss. This is the 44th appearance of the season to lead all Ranger goaltenders for John Vanbiesbrouck. 26 years of age. And Mark Fitzpatrick making his 43rd appearance. Starts for the Islanders. He too coming off a loss, but a loss in which he played very well. It was a 3-2 home ice loss to Montreal. Just 21 years of age, and without a doubt, the goalie of the future and the present, actually, for the Islanders. A fine talent.
Kerry Fraser is the referee this afternoon. Ron Finn and Jerry Pateman, the linesmen, and we're underway. The Rangers opening up with Kissio, Mullen, O'Grodnik, Charlesworth wearing number 36, and Moeller. Baumgartner in the corner. The puck moved up by Lafontaine out of the zone. The Rangers will have to come back to get it.
No icing because Charlesworth, the defenseman, pinched. Sam, I like this matchup. The Rangers start their best line, and the Islanders start their power with Lafontaine at center ice. So we've got Kissio opposite Lafontaine. Should be fun to watch as far as the matchup goes.
Lafontaine, Wood, and Kerr with Crossman and Baumgartner. The Rangers are offside coming across the line. Lafontaine, of course, number 16. Kerr, number 10. Randy Wood, number 11. Look at the Rangers lineup this afternoon. John Vanbiesbrouck in goal with Mike Richter backing up. Todd Charlesworth in the lineup, playing the left side with Randy Moeller. Patrick and Rochefort. Look for Horseva to get a little more ice time in this game, especially on offense. Kissio, Nichols, Turcotte, and Jansen's down the middle. O'Grodnik, Millette, King, and Ruff on the left. Mullen, Gartner, Miller, and Broughton on the right.
Now we have the next matchup on the ice, Nichols and Sutter. We'll see if Al Arbour keeps these matchups. Roger Nielsen coaching his 500th NHL game, and he has 220 wins, trying to make it 221.
Puck sent in, played by Vanbiesbrouck, leaves it for James Patrick, who's on with Normand Rochefort. Nichols, Gartner, and Millette on for the Rangers. Joe Ricci sending it in, and Rochefort plays it.
Islanders have two players on the ice right now who had been out with injuries. Flatley on the right side, and Diduck playing right defense.
Volek with the steal. He's tied up at the line by Rochefort, who clears the zone. Diduck number 4, Ricci number 29. Brent Sutter number 21 centering, Volek 25 on the left, and Flatley 26 on the right. Rochefort starts his move up, feeds Millette. Around the glass. Nope, didn't make it. Went over the glass, up into the crowd. Play stops. 1 minute 14 seconds gone by here in the first period as you look at Al Arbour. His team has been down, then up, and now down again. Fitzpatrick in goal. Healy, the backup. Baumgartner, Crossman, Diduck, and Chenault. Chenault recently recalled from Springfield. Finley and Ricci. Lafontaine, McDonough, Sutter, and Trottier down the middle. Wood, Maloney, Volek, King on the left. Derek King, Lauer, Bakota, Flatley, and Kerr on the right. Of course, Hubie McDonough had that great game against the Rangers in the March 2nd meeting at Madison Square Garden. He scored 2 goals in that game.
Here we have Lafontaine back on the ice. The third Islanders shift, the second time Lafontaine's been on the ice, this time with new wingers.
That's right. This time he's on with Derek King and Brad Lauer. Finley going back for the puck, number 37. Lafontaine leaves the puck, and Finley heads up ice. Rangers have Turcotte on with King and Kevin Miller. Horseva and Bloomberg paired on defense. This is Kris King with the puck. King was knocked down in center by Dean Chenault, prompting a roar from the crowd. Out comes Lafontaine. Horseva's back. It's played off the corner boards. Bloomberg tied up with Derek King. Horseva with Lafontaine. Lafontaine trying to get free. Horseva pins him to the boards. Lauer looking for the puck. Turcotte is there as well. Comes straight to Lafontaine. Shot deflected. Up over the glass into the crowd. Play stops.
Good play by Bloomberg to have that puck ricochet off of his stick up high. Lafontaine showing good speed here early. He told us, as we talked to him before the game, about his hand, Sam. He said they've taken the padding off of the glove. It feels strong. And the Rangers trying to attain first place for the first time in a long time. A lot of Ranger fans here again.
Well, the Rangers leading the New Jersey Devils by 8 points. Devils have a game in hand. Devils will play in Edmonton tonight. Roger Nielsen, his club is just 2 wins away from clinching a playoff spot. And John, a few more wins, I would say 3 or 4 would probably ice up first place.
The Rangers this morning had a team breakfast at a hotel complex this morning in Westchester County, and then arrived here for the game as a team on the bus.
A lot of work for Lafontaine. He's still out there. Kerr and Wood are back on with him. Kissio wins the faceoff from him. Looking up ice is Todd Charlesworth.
Both teams have shown 3 lines so far, neither team having 4 on the ice. Actually, the Islanders just showing 8 forwards to this point of their 12. The Rangers have shown 9 of their 12.
Randy Moeller fires out of the zone, finds O'Grodnik, joined by Mullen. O'Grodnik moves across, plays it wide of the net. Kissio gets to the puck, checked by Lafontaine. Loose in the corner, O'Grodnik moving in for it. Taken out by Lafontaine to Kerr and across to Randy Wood, but Moeller stops it. Mullen turns. Todd Charlesworth left the puck behind him. Charlesworth is not big, does not play a particularly physical game, but according to Paul Terrio in Flint, he was their steadiest defenseman night in and night out. And that's why he was called up. Wood working it free to Brent Sutter, and now Alan Kerr. 3 minutes gone by in the first period. No score, no shots on goal. James Patrick getting it to Brian Mullen, who moves out. On for Troy Millette, who's changed. Coming on for John O'Grodnik. Back pass to Rochefort. He fell down and then was pinned by Diduck. The puck up the boards. Patrick stops it, looks toward the net. Fires, deflected, into the corner. The battle continues. Millette working against Patrick Flatley. Gartner sends it around to Nichols. Tries to come out in front and does. The backhander slides wide. Kept in by Rochefort, but Diduck able to play the puck.
Sam, the Islanders already playing a smarter game than what they did the last time these two teams met. They haven't taken any bad penalties, which they did a lot of in recent games.
Vanbiesbrouck with a save on Flatley. Brent Sutter is stopped and Vanbiesbrouck smothers the puck.
Rochefort, right. He, I think, stopped the portion of the puck. The other side hit the post. Close call.
Now it eats these things, all right?
Roger Nielsen watching the pressure put on to John Vanbiesbrouck, coming up with a good save.
You see the wraparound, the backhand try as Vanbiesbrouck was down. Rochefort had the puck go off of his body, then it just was to the outside of the net. The Islanders now get the line on the ice that hasn't seen any ice time.
That's McDonough's line. Turcotte splitting through, and he scores! What a goal by Darren Turcotte! Unbelievable effort by the Ranger rookie for his 30th goal of the season.
And Kris King went to retrieve the puck as a souvenir for Turcotte. Sam, that's the 7th goal Turcotte has scored against the Islanders this season. He splits with his speed through Chenault and Finley, and he seemingly had no chance for a shot. He slaps at it. It surprised the goaltender, Fitzpatrick, and the Rangers get the lead, 1-0. What a great individual effort. As the players look up at the score clock, which has a replay screen on it, and the Ranger players enjoy the play of Darren Turcotte early.
What a marvelous effort by Darren Turcotte, who leads all rookies in goals with 30. Vakota bumped there by Jansen, keeps it alive along the boards. Maloney behind the net. Loose in the corner, Mark Jansen sends it up the boards. This line on for the first time. Jansen's rough and Broughton going opposite McDonough, Vakota, and Maloney. So first time on for the McDonough line. The Rangers take advantage and broke the defense. And Darren Turcotte getting the goal.
As far as the series goes, the Rangers have had 37 power plays, the Islanders just 22. That's why you see the Islanders trying to play a much smarter game here early. Take the body, hit, but don't take penalties. There's a good check, a real good check by Crossman on Mark Jansen's.
Islanders move in. Lafontaine shot gloved by Vanbiesbrouck. Plays it off the glass, knocked down by Lafontaine. Tries to beat Jansen. Nice move. Vakota against Moeller. Loose behind the net, and Jansen takes it. Broughton knocked down, but able to get it out of the zone. The goal is Turcotte, his 30th from Miller at 3:58. Kevin Miller getting the only assist. Puck moved around, taken by Derek King. Centers off a skate of Jansen's, and Broughton moves out. Winds up, long shot, stick to side by Mark Fitzpatrick, played by Gerald Diduck. Rangers lead 1-0, 14:35 to go in the first period. Drop pass to Derek King, back to Lafontaine, save Vanbiesbrouck. Pretty puck movement by the Islanders.
Lauer, King, and Lafontaine set that up, a beautiful play.
Back pass to the point, Diduck toward the goal, it's deflected into the corner. Rangers got away with a trip as King was taken down in front. Fraser looked at it but did not call anything. Along the boards, O'Grodnik. Ahead for Kissio.
Islanders picking up their pace now. Ever since the Rangers scored, they've picked it up a little bit.
Pretty moves by Kissio, was taken down by Riki, and Diduck clears the zone. James Patrick is there. 6 minutes gone by in the first. The goal by Darren Turcotte, giving the Rangers a 1-0 lead. Mullen takes the puck, centers, hit Reekie, picked up by O'Grodnik. He's tied up by Lafontaine, and Diduck sends it ahead. Rochefort trying to keep it in. Lauer brings it out to center. Now it's Gerald Diduck. Lead for Derek King. Vanbiesbrouck watches it go off the boards, and Rochefort picks it up. In comes Brent Sutter with a hit, but Patrick has the pass. Across off the glove of Troy Millette. Crossman the other way to Flatley. Flatley broken up by Rochefort. Good poke check. Brent Sutter picks it up, looking for Flatley. The pass blocked by James Patrick. Patrick stays with Sutter. Flatley moves in to help out. Gets hit by Troy Millette. Puck is still loose. Sutter's got it. Millette taken down by Flatley. Crossman's got the puck. I thought he pulled it across the line. Nothing called. That shot saved Vanbiesbrouck. He's on top of it in the crease. 13:07 to go. First period. Rangers lead 1-0.
It's fast, it's furious. Rangers hockey, it's the fastest game in town.
Rangers Canucks, Pizza Hut poster night, Sunday, March 18th, 7:30.
Rangers with a 1-0 lead. Islanders 5 shots on goal and some good pressure down low against John Vanbiesbrouck.
Well, Flatley, those types of players like to work the corners, and on the last play, the Islanders were able to keep the puck in the zone. The puck nearly over the blue line. Remember, the whole puck has to go completely over the blue line or it's not offside, and Vanbiesbrouck's made some traffic saves to this point.
It was close.
Very, very close, believe me. I've got the goaltender's eyes. That's the only part of my body that still works most of the time.
And Vanbiesbrouck bangs it off the glass. It's taken down by Randy Wood. Now Lafontaine turns, shoots it wide. Boy, Lafontaine playing a lot of time thus far. Good hit along the boards by Diduck. Kerr working against Bloomberg centers. Horsheva intercepts.
The Islander defense, especially Diduck, really showing good jump here and joining the play, going into the offensive zone. But his shifts are a little bit shorter. In fact, Diduck got hit along the boards. It looks a little sore right now, just getting to the Islander bench.
Gartner, long shot, hit Reekie. Gartner with a good takeaway in center. And he bumped Randy Wood. Kept in on the play. Around the boards. Bloomberg couldn't keep it in. Maloney getting it out to Lafontaine. Lafontaine across the line. Moves against Horsheva. Horsheva takes it away. Now, you mentioned Turcotte playing well against the Islanders. Horsheva has played two of his better games against the Islanders.
One of the game-winning goals. Icing called here on the Rangers. Diduck was sitting on the bench with his head down. He was crunched along the boards in a big check, I believe, by Millette in the Rangers zone. He went back to the blue line and then to the bench to get off the ice. And remember, he's coming back from a shoulder injury, and I think he's playing in a lot of pain.
Did Millette hit him, or did he hit Millette?
Millette hit him.
Okay.
Millette hit him along the boards. It was a resounding body check. And Diduck now flexing his right arm on the bench. And there's a good look at Todd Charlesworth. Played the power play, penalty killing unit for Paul Theriault. Now, he was, for the FC, ended up being a player by the name of Dennis Larocque, who was on the Rangers roster. It was a complicated deal as to see what player the Oilers would get back in exchange for the player that signed with Edmonton as a free agent in Charlesworth. It'll be interesting, though, to see what Diduck does if he comes back and how much hitting he's involved with now.
That'd be a tough loss if we were out of the lineup.
And he had lots of jump, good skating legs early, throwing the body, but he was crunched into the boards. Another thing to watch for here, the glass around the boards here, the entire Coliseum is exactly the same height. There's no difference in the height of the glass between the benches or at the end zones.
Snow buildup along the dasher there. The linesman worked on the ice. The Islanders got off to a horrendous start this season. Looked like they were buried in last place early in the season, the first third. Then turned it around with a marvelous stretch. Pat LaFontaine had the goal-scoring streak. The Islanders won 9 in a row, and they moved into first place, and now they've fallen back.
They haven't won in 14, but remember this. They haven't lost more than one game by 3 or more goals, and that was the game that the Rangers beat them 6-3. Yeah. Every other game has been closer than that, including their last 2 losses, both 1-goal losses, 5-4 in Philadelphia, and a great game, a loss here, 3-2 to Montreal.
What a heartbreaker against Philadelphia, which they rallied from a 3-1 deficit, led 4-3, and then the Flyers won at 5-4. Kevin Miller with the rush. Jeff Finley knocks it away. King is tied up by Maloney and McDonough. And Maloney able to work it free. Then he gets hit by Kevin Miller. Good check by Miller. Kept in by Moeller. Bounces in front. Steered aside by Fitzpatrick. Jeff Finley moving it up the boards. Maloney across, and the Islanders clear the zone. 11.5 minutes to go in the first period. 1-0 Rangers. Don Maloney moves in. Now McFakota centers for Maloney. Just missed. It got through.
Gary Fraser to this point, the referee letting the teams play. He's not calling. There hasn't been a lot of retaliation. There's a bad elbow. Oh, and a retaliation by Kris King on Baumgartner. Baumgartner was getting an elbowing penalty as he nailed one of the Rangers right along the boards in front of the Islander bench. And then King went in at Baumgartner, so we'll see if it's called even or not.
I would think both players would go, wiping out what would have been a Rangers power play. Fraser looking things over.
First calls of the first period.
And both will go. Baumgartner and King go off. Rangers leading 1-0. Kris King's in the penalty box for the Rangers. Don Maloney's in the penalty box for the Islanders.
The original hit was an elbow by Baumgartner on one of the Ranger players in front of the Islander bench. And that's when Fraser's arm went up. Watch this. This is the play right here. Baumgartner leads with the elbow right to the face of Miller.
They've got him now.
Now they've got him in the box, and the Islanders will be short-handed. I was wondering why Baumgartner hadn't gone there. Baumgartner skated right to the front of the Rangers bench during the commercial and was having a jawing contest with all the Ranger players on the bench.
Islanders get 2 minors. Maloney for cross-checking, Baumgartner for roughing, and King for roughing.
Sam, the original was the elbow to Baumgartner, and then King came in at Baumgartner, and then Maloney's stick was right up in King's face. That was the sequence of events as to how they happened in front of the Islander bench.
So the Rangers will get a power play, the first power play of the game.
8 for 37 in the season series.
Rangers power play, tied for 8th overall in the NHL on and 3rd on the road. Islander penalty killing is 16th in the NHL.
And that's been a problem for the Islanders to do with this winless streak of 14 games. They have not come up with big penalty killing when they have needed it.
Down to the penalties, 8:43. Maloney for cross-checking, Baumgartner and King for roughing. Patrick and Nichols at the points. Kissio, Mullen, Ogrodnik up front for the power play, which scored 4 times against Toronto.
The Rangers have 89 power play goals. Calgary has 89 power play goals. Both tied for the lead, with the entire league involved with power play goals.
Sutter, Lauer, Ricci. That deflected off Ricci on goal. That clearing attempt hit Patrick. Rangers keep it in. Ricci and Crossman on defense for the Islanders. Kissio with the puck along the boards. Now it's Patrick looking and shooting. Deflected by Ogrodnik. Mullen tied up by Ricci. Jumps past Brent Sutter and still controls. Bernie Nichols looking down low, feeds James Patrick. Ogrodnik set up in front of the goaltender. Nichols to Patrick. To Nichols. To Kissio for the shot. Save Fitzpatrick. He's got it underneath him.
Good save. Good puck movement by the Rangers. The Islanders play their box, Sam. They almost concede the point shot. Their forwards play basically down towards their goaltender. Here they have only one man up, and you'll see Ogrodnik deflect this shot to the right side of the goaltender on this shot by Kissio. It's a screen setup, then the deflection, and Fitzpatrick went down. He's a big goaltender. He's able to control the puck and hang on to it. Kissio with the good low shot for the deflection. There you saw it. And on the other side, Ricci did a good job taking out Brian Mullen. But keep in mind, when the Islanders kill penalties, they almost concede the shot from the blue line, taking care of business in front of their own goal.
Look at Bernie Nichols, set to take the face-off. On with Gartner, Millette, Turcotte, and Patrick. So Turcotte is now playing the right point, and Nichols has moved up front. Diduck is on the ice. Try to clear, comes in front, a save. Millette turning with a backhand shot. Goes back to the point to Turcotte. Gartner along the boards. Turcotte looking, Beats Gartner. Back to Turcotte.
He can take his time because Flatley doesn't have a stick.
Turcotte one-times it wide. Bounces all the way out. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Patrick leads his way in. Trying to beat Finley. Leaves it for Nichols. Shot is a save by Fitzpatrick. Gartner to Nichols, but the puck was knocked down with a stick above the shoulder by the Rangers, and that'll bring the puck out of the zone.
Harry Fraser said it was Mike Gartner when the original shot was taken. Fitzpatrick kicked it out. It went high in the air, and Gartner got there quickly. So face-off now comes outside and all the way down into the Rangers zone.
You know who's back playing again? Ray Bourque is returned to the lineup for the Boston Bruins.
I saw that, and he played in the 3-3 tie with Winnipeg. He came back and played a regular shift, but they lost Cam Neely in that game with a groin injury. He didn't finish. Winnipeg played very well in Boston. Stevens won't play tonight for Washington. He's serving his second game of a 3-game suspension as Vancouver is in Washington tonight. The Rangers will have Chris Nyland and David Shaw go to Washington to scout that game. And I'll tell you, David Shaw must have a great wife because it's her birthday today. David said, well, looks like it's going to be a great dinner for her tomorrow night.
Must feel guilty about earning the paycheck with not being on the ice. Nyland on St. Patrick's Day?
In Washington.
Oh, boy.
Read between the lines. Huh?
Oh, that could be trouble.
It's good to get him out of New York.
Hope they make extra copies of Shaw's scouting report. Just kidding, Chris. Just kidding. Here's Flatley moving down. Final seconds of the Rangers power play, and the teams are back at full strength. 9:15 to go in the first period. Rangers leading 1-0 on a goal by Darren Turcotte. Gartner tied up in center. He's now 0-for-1 on the power play. Moeller on with Horsheva. The pass deflected by Lafontaine.
If you're the last defenseman and Lafontaine's coming at you, get rid of the puck. He's too quick to try and make lateral moves with the puck. He's smart, he can forecheck, and he's got that breakaway speed.
Two other games this afternoon. Hawgood and Bourque have scored for Boston. 2-0 end of one. Pittsburgh trailing Minnesota 1-0. Goal by Mike Modano, his 27th. Ulf Dahlin had an assist.
That's his second assist as a North Star. Chevrier making his third start for Pittsburgh. His second on home ice. He had the win over Detroit.
6-1 win for Pittsburgh. Penguins tied with Washington starting play this afternoon. 2 points ahead of Washington. 69 points.
Putting on a clinic here, handling the puck.
Rough on with Janssens and Broughton. Puck down to the Islanders zone. Finley picks it up. Around the boards for Alan Kerr. Kerr on with Lafontaine and Wood. Pass across. Randy Wood picks it up. 8.5 minutes to go in the first period. Rangers with a 1-0 lead. Kerr blind pass. Broughton breaks it up. Finley. Off the corner boards. Lafontaine to it. Centers for Kerr. It deflected off James Patrick, but a good job by James Patrick of tying up Alan Kerr and denying him a shot.
Patrick didn't seem concerned and shouldn't have been about the puck. He took his man out, stayed with him. You'll see the puck when it's dumped in here, Sam. It just sort of lays against the boards. It's dead. Just lies there. And in go the people to try and get there. Patrick will pick up his man Kerr and stay with him, push him with just off balance as Kerr tried to take the clean shot. And Wood has lots of speed, and he always crashes into the goals, always crashing into goaltenders. I understand there's going to be a meeting this upcoming week to do with the magnets, the man that invented them, to maybe try and get them stronger. I know that a lot of people, such as Wood, who plays for the Islanders, crash the net, crash it so much, I don't think it's right. I don't think too many goaltenders are being banged around. I think the nets are being dislodged too easily, and in turn making the games longer than what they should be. And it's a tactic for players to knock the nets off the moorings to slow the game down.
Are you concerned about the well-being of the goaltenders here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's part of it. It's one of about 4 different phases that are becoming involved with these nets dislodging so easily. And a lot of players who wouldn't do it normally are just charging the net. They don't care.
As far as the delay tactics are concerned, I think the officials are trying to stay on top of that and calling a penalty when it's done intentionally. If it's blatant.
Every single year, these referees have 5 or 6 different things that they have to try and pay more attention to, and it's tough on them. It really is.
Horsheva put the puck up into the crowd off the face-off. 8:11 to go. The face-off back deep in the Ranger zone. Rangers will play tomorrow night on home ice against Vancouver. Go ahead, John.
Sorry, Trottier playing center here. He didn't play center very much in the Islanders' last game in Philadelphia, mostly on the left side. Bryan Trottier coming back from his back spasm problem.
Kissio against Trottier on the faceoff. The giveaway, Grodnik able to clear the zone. Baumgartner there to take it. Almost lost it to Mullen. Crossman did lose it. Saved by Fitzpatrick off Mullen. Bloomberg keeping it in. Kissio behind the net. Centers right through Grodnik. Trottier sends out Brent Sutter. Sutter against Horsheva. Back to Baumgartner. Down the boards for Trottier. Tied up with Bloomberg in the corner. Mullen looking for the puck. Pops loose. Knocked away by Horsheva to Grodnik. Grodnik's got a good name for St. Patrick's Day.
Johnny O.
Horsheva. Backhand in. Fitzpatrick leaves it there for Crossman.
Will you tell me what's wrong with Johnny O. Davidson? My favorite day of the year, almost.
Loft shot right in the midsection, stopped with a blocker and cleared out quickly.
The league scheduled an afternoon game after I requested it.
Party time tonight.
No, game tomorrow.
Mullen.
It should be a tough game. The Vancouver Canucks have played over 500 in their last, I believe, 17 games. One game over.
Mullen with a hip check. King sends it in. Under 7 minutes to go in the first period. Joe Ricci takes it. Islanders have had to dip into their farm system for defensemen with a lot of injuries this season. Turcotte with a good takeaway. Tied up with Ricci. Good effort along the boards. Now the Islanders get out. Lauer, but he gave it away. King puts it back in the Islanders zone.
Shots, by the way, even 7 apiece.
Diduck to Ricci. All the way across. Mick Bakota on. Goes back to Hubie McDonough. McDonough against James Patrick. Kevin Miller takes it away and clears the zone. He's playing a smart game thus far.
This unit that's on the ice right now scored the goal for the Rangers, and this unit that's on the ice for the Islanders was on the ice when the goal was scored.
Patrick, Bakota pressing him. Rochefort moves it, but McDonough keeps it in. And a shot by Bakota is a save by Vanbiesbrouck. Moved out by Patrick.
And that was set up with a body check by Don Maloney, knocking Rochefort down. A good forechecking body check. The Islanders work hard. They're a team that like to go to the net as much as possible, and they take the body.
King getting that outlet pass, winds up with a shot off the blocker of Fitzpatrick into the crowd, and play stops with 5:45 to go. First period at the Nassau Coliseum. Rangers lead by 1.
About I just couldn't go.
New York Rangers have won 6 straight against Patrick Division teams and 8-1-1 in their last 10 in the Patrick Division.
Here you see Don Maloney knocking down Rochefort, and in turn Rochefort couldn't clear the puck. Right away there's a shot on goal. Forechecking plays, taking the body, create scoring chances, and Vanbiesbrouck made the save. Shots 8-8 now. Face off inside the Islanders zone as Fitzpatrick put the rebound up in the stands.
Ron Smith with some instructions and some ideas for head coach Roger Nielsen.
Well, 8-1-1 their last 10 within the Patrick Division. They've won 6 straight, as you just saw. And that's been a major cause for the Rangers climb up to first place.
Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, use good sense and drink responsibly. Please know when to say when. A reminder from Anheuser-Busch. And a whistle.
Penalty.
Play.
I believe it's Millette who will go. No. Yes, Millette will go as Baumgartner was dragged down off the face-off. Actually, Millette doesn't know if it's Millette, or Baumgartner doesn't know if it's Baumgartner.
Millette.
Now Millette is the guy that's sent to the penalty box.
Baumgartner's also
both getting it. It was right off the draw. The puck was just to the right side of Fitzpatrick. Kerry Fraser gives it to them both. There's Baumgartner holding up Millette. Millette trying to power it through, knocks down Baumgartner. And I suppose one will be interference and one will be holding. Tripping.
Okay. Baumgartner for interference, Millette for tripping at 14:20. No loss of manpower on the ice. They'll still skate 5 aside. Rangers with the only power play thus far in the game, and they had 3 shots on goal during that power play, but did not break through.
Now the Islanders have Lafontaine playing right wing, Sutter at center ice. I don't know if this is just for the draw in the defensive zone, or if Lafontaine's just going to see a whole bunch of ice time here.
If they could, they'd probably have him play defense and goal also.
He probably could. Actually, Sutter now goes to the bench. That was Sutter on the ice for the defensive draw, which he won.
Gartner, good speed, got tripped up on the play, but nothing called.
Icing called.
Oh, Mike Gartner
called.
tripped up going for the play. Across the ice on the far side was referee Kerry Fraser. Did not see it. Rangers get called for icing.
The puck was dumped in. Gartner with his speed wanted to get there first, and there's no doubt he was tripped. Ron Finn, the linesman, he has to see which team touches the puck first. It was the Islanders. The Rangers called for icing, and the Islanders get away with the trip.
5:19 to go in the first period. They'll have the face-off back in the Ranger zone. Knicks are in action tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. Will somebody slap them around a little bit, get the Knicks going? Game night at 7 o'clock here on Madison Square Garden Network. Knicks a bad loss at Minnesota Thursday. They've got to wake up as they take on the Bucks tonight.
Tied now with Philadelphia for first place, correct? Philadelphia won last night. Yes. Mike Gartner speaking very highly about the coaching abilities that the Rangers have with Cashman Smith and Roger Nielsen. Roger Nielsen was at the practice facility yesterday morning about 9 a.m. He was there at midnight last night, watching, setting up videotapes, preparing the scouting report on the opposition. I'm telling you, he does a lot of
captain video.
Well, even more than that, you know, he just studies the whole league, trying to prepare for the upcoming games, not only today's game but everything.
I think his coaching ability is respected far and wide throughout the league.
What Mike Gartner likes about him is he doesn't get panicky at all. He says behind the bench, it doesn't matter what the situation is, he doesn't change too much, and that's important over a long period of time.
Off the corner boards, Crossman back for it. Certainly Mike Gartner knows about guys active and animated behind the bench with Brian Murray, who is one of the most excitable coaches behind the bench.
Pierre Pagé gets a little fired up too. Got to have emotions, I think, at the same time.
4:50 to go. First period, Rangers with a 1-0 lead. Now it's Crossman. Jeff Finley. Darren Turcotte getting the goal. A brilliant move as he was falling down. One-handed it past Fitzpatrick. Charlesworth with a shot, then got taken out by Finley on the play. Paul Broughton working in the corner against Crossman. Now it's Ruff against McDonough. Around for Janssens. McDonough plays it up the boards to Mick Gartner. So the two checking lines opposite one another here.
Well, the pace is slow just a hair, Sam.
Nice move by McDonough, then taken away by Charlesworth.
Shouldn't say that. That's not that fair. Charlesworth with a good shift. He stepped up and intercepted a play. Got the puck in the Islanders zone. The Rangers from there at that point tried to set up something.
Lafontaine had a man open in front, but the pass deflected away. Ricky sends it back in, but it caroms off the glass into the crowd. Play stops with 3:55 remaining in the first period.
And the glass is nice here. It's all the same height all the way around, but they should have maybe made it about 3 feet higher. That's about the fifth puck in this first period that's caromed off the glass and into the stands, and all that does is slow the play down. Behind the goals, it's not as high as what we see in a lot of arenas, but it's certainly higher between the blue lines.
That's not a leftover from the old-timers game that preceded this game. Islander old-timers and Ranger old-timers, they prefer to be called alumni. Played this afternoon. Dave Maloney, Pat Hickey, Pierre LaRouche, Pete Stemkowski, Gilles Villemure in the lineup for the Rangers alumni this afternoon.
8-2 Islander win. If it wasn't for Gilles Villemure, it may have been worse.
You're not supposed to give the
Well,
score.
I have to tell the truth. Nystrom came up to me and says, well, things never change, huh?
Gillies was all over the place. Mullen working against Randy Wood, who's got him wrapped up. Ogrodnik picks it up. Nice pass to Rochefort. Then it's knocked away by Lafontaine, and out comes Randy Wood. Ogrodnik goes over to pick up Wood. Wood keeps it alive. Still has it. Alan Kerr tied up by Kissio in the corner. Kerr hit by Kissio.
See, Wood with his great speed, he couldn't outskate Ogrodnik along the boards.
Moves it to Lafontaine behind the net. Tries to put it out in front. Mullen is there to break it up. Diduck keeps it in. Long shot. Save. Kissio clears to Mullen. 3-on-2 through the neutral zone. Mullen against Ricky. Nice lead to Kissio, but the pass in the middle. Lafontaine back to intercept. Coming down. Bloomberg is back. 2-on-1 to Randy Wood. Wood shoots. He scores. Lafontaine made the play in the defensive zone and made the play in the offensive zone.
Lafontaine with great back checking intercepted the pass. The Kissio line did not get the puck deep in the Islander zone. LaFontaine picking it up. Rochefort loses his balance there. So it's a 2-on-1, and Wood moves in, has room, and takes the shot on the stick side, beating Vanbiesbrouck. The Kissio line had the puck here. You'll see the pass work. The puck does not go deep as LaFontaine comes back. There's Rochefort. He's out of the play. 2-on-1. Not a fancy 2-on-1. One pass, one shot, and it's a 1-1 game.
24th goal of the season for Randy Wood, assisted by Pat LaFontaine at 17:04.
And LaFontaine, if he doesn't back check hard, he doesn't intercept that pass at the blue line and in turn go on the offense.
Brent Sutter moving in against Jeff Bloomberg. Bloomberg stays with him in the corner. Flatley's pass deflected by Vanbiesbrouck, and Troy Millette comes out.
Well, you see a lot of passes out of the corner, Sam, towards the front of the goal. The Islanders noted as a team that go to the net well, and they keep trying that play.
Down the boards moves David Bollock against Bloomberg. Comes out of the corner. Knocked down by Brent Sutter, moves around the net. Flatley is in the crease, now side of the crease, wrap around, save Vanbiesbrouck. Scramble comes on, and Vanbiesbrouck covers up. Millette knocks down Sutter and plays.
Oh boy, I don't know how Vanbiesbrouck stopped that. Sutter had time to go in both directions from behind the net, but Vanbiesbrouck robbed him. Watch Sutter go behind the goal and take his time, one way or the other. And finally, he jams around, and Vanbiesbrouck, diving without his goal stick, was able to stop the puck. Again, you see the Islanders, you don't see many long shots or pretty plays, but lots of jam plays as they send all kinds of people to the net.
Back to the point, Dean Chenault with a shot wide of the net. 2:05 to go in the first period, tied at 1-1. Bounces, Vanbiesbrouck poking it away from Lafontaine. Alert play by the Rangers goaltender. Here's Turcotte through the middle again. Gets around Finley. Turcotte backhander wide. Checked in by Charlesworth. Stopped by Chenault. He's checked by Kevin Miller. Puck is loose. Picked up by Finley. Well, Finley's had all kinds of problems with Darren Turcotte.
Turcotte has been working on Finley and Chenault as a pair, and he's had some success. The Islanders have had the most power, the most scoring chances here, Sam, in this first period, way more than the Rangers.
Outshot the Rangers 11-9, but the game tied 1-1, kept in by Hubie McDonough, but quality intercepted by Charlesworth.
Quality shots. The Islanders have had 3 or 4 more than the Rangers.
Lead for King off his stick. Fitzpatrick roams to play it. Around the boards. Here's James Patrick. Sending it around for King. Hops over his stick. Vakota is there. Stopped by Rochefort at the line. Looking toward the net. Deflected and gloved by Fitzpatrick. Waits for a whistle and gets it.
Fitzpatrick is another one of the goaltenders in the league that has to cross his hands to handle a stick. Most goaltenders take their glove hand or catching hand, put that stick on the bottom of the shaft, the stick glove on the top, and handle a puck. He has to cross his hands, putting the glove hand up top. So what happens is the majority of the time that Fitzpatrick handles the puck, he'll just go along the boards with it, whether it's on the forehand or the backhand. Very seldom will he take it and try and fire a pass and elevate the pass through the middle.
James Patrick at the point. Following the first period, we'll have an interview with Pat LaFontaine, which was pre-taped prior to the start of this afternoon's game, and Sean and I will take a look at the Patrick division and how things shape up in the final couple of weeks of the season. Less than a minute to go. Gartner tried to take it away from Baumgartner. Crossman moves out, slides it out for Brent Sutter. Sutter. Trottier. Vanbiesbrouck gets a stick on it. Trottier against Patrick. Rochefort gets there. Lifts it ahead for Troy Millette. Out with Nichols and Gartner. Millette moving in. Gartner heads for the net. The pass in front. Loved by Fitzpatrick. Islanders send it across. Patrick sends it the other way. Baumgartner toward the Ranger zone, and Patrick is there with 28 seconds to go in the period. 1-1 the score. Caromed off the boards. Millette picks it up. He shoots. It's blocked by Baumgartner. Nichols tied up by Flatley, and McDonough plays the puck. Horseva. 15 seconds in the period. Lead for Paul Broughton. He was tied up by Lauer. Islanders move the other way with 5 seconds. McDonough and Maloney. Horseva takes out McDonough. Maloney's pass to Lauer. His shot saved. Vanbiesbrouck, and the horn sounds. One last good shot by the Islanders. Looked like an innocent rush into the zone. And Lauer wound up with a good shot from high in the slot. But the first period comes to an end. The Rangers got on the board first at 3:58 on a brilliant goal by Darren Turcotte, his 30th of the season. Randy Wood tied it at 7:04, and at the end of one, it's the Rangers won, the Islanders won. Back to talk with Pat Lafontaine in just a moment. Second in the league in power play percentage. Rangers with Kissio, Ogrodnik, and Mullen. Patrick and Rochefort. Islanders, Mike Gartner, Crossman on defense. Lafontaine, Wood, and Kerr up front, and offside is whistled against the Rangers. Al Arbour going through an unbelievable stretch. You know, when the Rangers went through their stretch, I don't think either team would have believed that they could go that long without a win. 14 games without a win for the New York Islanders. They haven't won since February 10th.
And close games. I made a mistake earlier during the intermission. I mentioned that the Islanders play in Washington. They do, but they don't play there till Tuesday. Pittsburgh is here for an afternoon game tomorrow. So I stand corrected, got that straight.
But Patrick Division.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Important games coming up for them.
Absolutely.
Patrick takes the puck and drives it around the boards. Lindy Ruff wraps up Dean Chenault. Chenault able to move it along. Maloney and Paul Broughton along the boards. Jansen's poking at it. Maloney able to work it out. Good play by Don Maloney. Turcotte to McDonough, gets it back. Turcotte toward the net, stopped. Turcotte got knocked down by Rochefort. Vanbiesbrouck stops the puck. Opening minute of play, second period. Two other games this afternoon. The Boston Bruins leading the LA Kings 3-1 in the second period, and Minnesota now with a 4-0 lead in Pittsburgh. Modano has 2 goals in that game for the Minnesota North Stars.
John Casey playing goal for the North Stars. Rochefort loves to hit after a pass or a shot, and there's a clean body check. He flattens Turcotte on the play.
Boy, if the Penguins are unable to come back, that would be a huge loss for them. Washington will be in action tonight on home ice against Vancouver, and certainly the Islanders trying to benefit. Turcotte
got the smile on his face as Rochefort hammered him. A good clean check. Turcotte kept his temper, didn't retaliate.
Vanbiesbrouck pokes at it. Loose in the corner. Derek King gets to it, looks toward the net, centers, and they score! What a play by Pat Lafontaine for his 49th goal of the season. What a marvelous move.
It's the play we've been talking about all game long. The Islanders start their plays in the corners and jam the net. And this is a classic example of what happened. Here you see King on the puck, and he'll feed it out of the corner towards the front of the goal. And there's Lafontaine inside the goal crease. And before Moeller could get to him, the puck was put in. There's King, 2 Rangers over there. Lafontaine all by himself, as Moeller had 2 players to contend with, and the puck is in the net.
What about moving into the crease?
He was there before the puck got there, but that's something that's very seldom called. And it's a 2-1 Islander lead. Lafontaine gives the Islanders the lead for the first time in this game.
His first goal since February 22nd, which was the game in which he was hurt in Pittsburgh. 49th goal of the season for Pat Lafontaine, offside Islanders. And the Islanders have the lead for the first time in the game. Lafontaine from Derek King at 48 seconds. 1 minute gone by in the second period. Brad Lauer also gets an assist. King and Lauer the assists on Lafontaine's 49th goal of the season.
He's never scored 50 in the National Hockey League. 45 last year, 47 the year before, and that 47 is his career high. In junior 1 year, he scored 175. Actually, that was midget hockey in Detroit. 175 goals.
And puck driven off the glass by Rochefort. Ogrodnik going for it. It's moved by Lafontaine. And Randy Wood takes it back. Mullen forechecking. Mike Gartner clearing the zone. Patrick able to stop the puck in center. All the way across to Ogrodnik. Moving in against Crossman. Ogrodnik with the shot just wide. Kept in by Patrick. Deflected by Mullen, and a save by Fitzpatrick. Ogrodnik's pass taken away by Kerr. Ogrodnik knocked Kerr down. The Rangers have the puck. Kissio against Lafontaine along the boards. They wrestle each other down. Mullen turning, centering, and a good play by Fitzpatrick to get the stick on it. Knocked it away from O'Grodnick.
The Rangers need a good shift after that Islander goal, and the Kissio line here providing it.
Patrick with room to shoot. Knocked down in front. Kissio gets to the puck. Turns. He's got room. He shoots. Save Fitzpatrick. Mullen going for it is taken down. Kerr comes out of the puck. Good effort by that line, but the Islanders stand up, and Fitzpatrick with a couple of key saves. James Patrick moving back for the Rangers. Mullen whirls it into the zone. Millette comes in, and we've got a fight going. Kerr and Kissio.
Kissio's lost his helmet. Kerr kept his gloves on, and Kissio had lost one glove. Both players will get minor penalties here.
We'll step out for a moment. 17:39 to go in the second. Kissio and Kerr, 2 minutes each for roughing at 2:21. No loss of manpower on the ice. They're still skating 5 aside. Rangers send out Nichols, Gartner and Millette, Horsheva and Bloomberg. Sutter, Volek and Flatley for the Islanders with Diduck and Ricci. Islanders with a 2-1 lead. Goals by Randy Wood and Pat Lafontaine. Lafontaine with a goal and an assist in the game.
Ricci has played left defense and right defense for the Islanders. He's been beaten twice for game-winning goals, Sam, to the outside. Once with Montreal, once in Detroit. It's kind of tough for him to play the right side. He's a left-handed shot.
Flatley's shot was blocked by Horsheva. Bloomberg with a check on Brent Sutter. Volek couldn't get out in front. Gartner knocked him down. Diduck centers, deflected by Volek wide of the net.
Well, again, the Islanders jamming the net. Volek's right there. They go, they stand there, and they wait for the puck to come out of the corners towards the front. And that makes for a long night of traffic, or long afternoon as it is today for traffic for goaltenders.
Puck lifted into the Islander bench. Stop play. Volek, who was checked well by Gartner, bounced off the check and went right in front.
Yes, he was knocked down. Now he'll go to the front. Here again, you'll see the example of the play. The puck heading towards the front of the goal.
17:14 to go in the second period. Following this game, the Rangers will play their next 3 on home ice against Vancouver, Toronto, and Philadelphia.
And after the game tomorrow with Vancouver, they have 1 game over the next 6 days, and that has to give Ron Greshner and Mark Hardy and Kerry Wilson a good chance to rest. Kerry Wilson hopes to come back for the game in Quebec.
That shot toward the net was blocked and missed by Vakota. Another shot by Vakota goes wide. McDonough working along the boards, but it's taken away by Janssen. Moeller gets to the puck. McDonough on him to knock it away. Jansen's lost it to Maloney. Maloney moves in past Moeller. Maloney still with the puck, pounded by Lindy Ruff. And picked up along the boards by Todd Charlesworth. Now Vakota's got it. Centers, blocked by Vanbiesbrouck, covers it and holds on. McDonough was taken down in front by Moeller.
Boy, oh boy. The Islanders, the Rangers, there's quite a battle going on here, Sam. Away from the puck, as players are driving towards the goal. And there you see McDonough going down. He was knocked down by Moeller, and then Vanbiesbrouck helped out a little bit. But the players for the Islanders, once they get in the offensive zone, the people without the puck up front just drive for the goal, and the Rangers know that. They scouted the Islanders. They know what they try to do, and they're trying like crazy to hold them up. And we're seeing a lot of battles out there.
Islanders are determined. There's no doubt about that.
They have to be. They want to make the playoffs. They need points badly. Flatley skated in the pregame warm-up, had a talk with the doctor, Dr. Minkoff, and then the doctor okayed Flatley to play. He was saying before the game that he just hoped the doctor would give him the okay. He's a very tenacious hockey player, a player that loves the challenge, and he's able to dress and play.
Lafontaine on with King and Lauer. Crossman and Baumgartner. Lafontaine winning the draw. Crossman shot, save Vanbiesbrouck. Knocked away from Lauer.
Islanders doing well on the draws in the Rangers zone.
There's Lauer. Couldn't handle the pass. Patrick picks up the puck and starts to move out. Crossman has it back. And a takeaway by Darren Turcotte. He moves in all alone. Turcotte, save Fitzpatrick. Rebound, King scores! Fitzpatrick with a marvelous save to rob Darren Turcotte, but the rebound was loose, and there was Kris King.
Baumgartner's had trouble. He overhandles the puck a little bit. This is about the 3rd time this game he's done it. And you see here, he went to move it and fanned on it. That's all Turcotte needed. Now King is coming in from behind. Big by Fitzpatrick, but nobody picks up King. He gets to the loose puck and chipped it in over top of everybody. King went in behind. He was a third forward in high. In low make that, and he was looking around for a puck. See King, he's not picked up. He's waiting around. He's a third forward on that line to go to the net. The puck was there, and Turcotte's speed set that up with Baumgartner overhandling the puck.
Turcotte with tremendous speed, and the Rangers have tied it. Kris King with his 5th goal of the season, and the Rangers alive now. Turcotte with a takeaway. Turcotte is flying in this game.
Flying is right.
Miller also gets an assist on the goal. 3:39 the time of the goal. King from Turcotte and Miller at 3:39. Kevin Miller 2 assists in the game. Lauer with a hit on King, and the Islanders move the puck out of the zone. Rangers have to go back to get it. 15:40 to go in the second period. 2-2 the score. Rangers won the first game here at the Nassau Coliseum this season. Second meeting was a 0-0 tie, and then the Islanders with a 4-3 win. Nichols toward the net, stopped by Fitzpatrick. Moves it up the boards. Lafontaine picks it up in full motion. Borcheva's there's Lafontaine moves in against Bloomberg. Lafontaine is in. It rolled off his stick. Volek scores! Or was it Flatley? They were both in front.
Oh boy, what a display by Pat Lafontaine. It's a 3-on-3. Everybody seemed to have a man, and the Lafontaine just didn't go down the wing with a puck. He swirled in behind everybody, and I'll tell you what, watch this display. See how he's going around cutting across? Look at the skating speed. He breaks in, puts the puck in front, and there you see 2 men, and I think Volek gets credit for the goal. They went to the net. Lafontaine with the speed. Sam, it's an innocent 3-on-3 play, but with Lafontaine cutting across, it makes the defenders switch men that they're guarding. So Bloomberg had to go to Lafontaine, and Lafontaine's speed won that challenge, and it's now a 3-2 Islander lead.
Islanders take the lead right back, and once again it's Pat Lafontaine, and we talked about it right from the start. The man is putting the team on his shoulders. He rarely leaves the ice. Volek, long shot wide. Sutter with an open net, couldn't get out in front. Now he sets up, looking to make a pass. Sutter moves out, looking and looking. Pass deflected. Volek keeps it in. Rangers take it back. Bloomberg. Volek gets the goal. Lafontaine will get an assist at 4:46. Flatley moving down. Down the middle. Save Vanbiesbrouck off Volek, and he holds it. Fitzpatrick also got an assist on the goal. So it's Volek, his 16th from Lafontaine and Fitzpatrick at 4:46. 3-2 Islanders.
It's fast. It's furious. Rangers hockey. It's the fastest game in town.
Rangers Canucks, Pizza Hut poster night, Sunday, March 18th, 7:30.
David Volek with a goal, and then he gets another chance here.
The Islanders going through the neutral zone with speed, and there's the shot that Vanbiesbrouck makes a save on, hangs on with Flatley all over him. But again, you see the Islanders going through the neutral zone with great speed, making the Rangers back in.
Baumgartner sends it around. Played by Charlesworth. And cleared out of the zone. McCarron's on goal, stopped by Fitzpatrick, who picked up his 2nd assist of the season on the goal by David Volek. 1:07 after the Rangers had tied the game. Volek puts the Islanders back in the lead.
Patrick Waugh leads all goaltenders with 5.
Kerr with a shot to save by Vanbiesbrouck. The rebound goes wide. Another great effort by Lafontaine to get to the puck. Oh, Lafontaine. I said Turcotte was flying.
This kid's a player.
Lafontaine is in supersonic motion out here.
He is a player. And he said his hand is much stronger. It doesn't get sore during the game, and he is just flying.
Hand pass whistled and sent by stopping play. 15:47 remaining in the second.
so much. They had Bossy, they had Trottier, and they were winning, and Putvin leading them. They were winning. Now you can see that he's the leader, and he can do it at both ends. The back-checking play where he intercepted the pass and led the 2-on-1 for a goal. What a player.
Oh, just a wonderful, wonderful star. And a great person,
Pretty good kid, too, huh?
Maloney. McDonough had to pull up at the line, otherwise it would have been offside. Vanbiesbrouck leaves it to Charlesworth. Mark Janssens. Now Paul Broughton to Lindy Ruff. Back in the Islander zone it goes. Dean Chanel looks up ice. Maloney out in center for Hubie McDonough. Moeller is there to slow him down. Chanel. And Charlesworth plays it. Todd Charlesworth in his first game as a New York Ranger. In the middle for Janssens, hopped over his stick. Janssens pushing it into the Islander zone. Chanel sending it back. Just under 13 minutes to go in the second period. And Charlesworth plays the puck. On now with James Patrick. Dakota chasing Charlesworth. He's having trouble. Gets rid of it to Turcotte. Sent the other way by Chanel. And fired out by Charlesworth. Joe Reiki plays it. Lead for Brad Lauer. Taken away by Turcotte. Moving in with Kevin Miller. Turcotte shoots. Save Fitzpatrick. Back off the boards. Lauer hit by Kris King. And Rochefort plays it in center.
It's the two speed players who are really showing us a game here. Turcotte and Lafontaine, the best skater for each team, doing extremely well.
Rochefort sending it around the boards and out of the zone. 12:15 to go in the second period. In that game in Pittsburgh, Mike Modano has a hat trick for the North Stars. It gives him 29 goals on the season. Long lead for Lafontaine. Turcotte with the lead among rookies as far as goal-scoring goes with 30.
Our man Rochefort is laboring a little bit, Sam. He fell in behind Vanbiesbrouck, and he's flexing, I believe it's his left leg a little bit. I think it's bothering him.
He goes to the bench for a change. Gartner gets it past Mike Gartner. Volek moves across and shoots. Saved by Vanbiesbrouck. Troy Millette picks up the loose puck. Plays it out of the zone. Mike Gartner going for it, but Doug Crossman is there for the Islanders. Horsheva.
I think it's imperative for this line for the Rangers to get going offensively. Nichols, Gartner, and Millette.
Sutter with a good takeaway from Gartner, feeding Trottier. Trottier across for Sutter. Shot blocked by Horsheva. Vanbiesbrouck covers its side of the net. Play stops with 11:06 to go in the second period. Islanders have taken a 3-2 lead on the Rangers. Good heavyweight matchup. April the 4th, Madison Square Garden's main arena. Two top contenders, Michael Dokes and Razor Ruddock, scheduled for 12. Tickets available at the Garden box office or by calling Ticketmaster. The undercard, Mike Weaver and Bone Crusher Smith. Edwin Rosario defending his lightweight championship against Juan Nazario. Good card.
We'll watch for Rochefort's next shift and see how his leg reacts after getting a break. That last Islander shift, Sam, the Islanders put Trottier on the right side in place of Flatley. Flatley missed 6 games with that groin injury, so he's getting a little rest once in a while. Al Arbour rotating 3 lines, but using many different people and using those 3 lines.
Alan Kerr moving with a puck. Moeller slows him down, centered across all the way through. Wood against Ogrodnik. The giveaway, Charlesworth gets it to Kissio. Mullen and Moeller moving. Mullen going wide against Crossman. Off the stick of Fitzpatrick, and Baumgartner takes it. Now Lafontaine. Back the other way. Bad play by Randy Wood. Almost kept it in his own zone. Now he moves it out. Here comes Lafontaine. Against Charlesworth. Shot it wide. Went for the top corner and just missed. Ogrodnik gets it back. Lafontaine all over him. Picked up the boards, but Kerr takes it. Kerr with some room now. Diduck calling for it. Kissio got his stick on it, and the Rangers move out. Mullen playing it toward the net. Fitzpatrick gloving it and sending it right out. Finds Hubie McDonough. No, a little too far. And Milo Horsheva chased by McDonough. Slowed down by McDonough. Able to clear the zone. Rangers with 9:50 to go in the second period, trailing 3-2. Bernie Nichols starts to move up ice. Islanders have to chase. Fitzpatrick plays it off the boards and out. Dakota lost it to Nichols. Nichols waits for Millette to get onside, but Riki sends it the other way. Now it's Bloomberg on the move. Across the line, pulled up to get his teammates onside. Didn't see Nichols still in the zone, and the Rangers are offside. Bloomberg and Turcotte are separated. Play stops. 9:26 to go, second period. That man used to be the captain of the New York Rangers, Dave Maloney, skating in the alumni game prior to the start of this game with the lovely green hat.
Once a year, you know, Maloney.
I wanted to get that hat to wear on the air, but it was all sweated up. He looked good.
Yes, he did. Sam, again, their brother, who's had a good, strong contribution this season to the Islanders, provided some leadership. Good guy. Here we see the Al Arbor team continue with his matchups, using Sutter opposite Nichols, and he's used Lafontaine opposite Kelly Kissio.
And both lines have done a good job of shutting the Rangers down. Nichols going for the puck, but Diduck is there first to chop it out of the zone. Gartner with a good glove, tied up by Brent Sutter.
Well, it's been an interesting game here. The Islanders have carried the play. They've gone to the net very well, yet they only lead by 1 goal, 3-2, and the shots are almost even. But the quality scoring chances belong to the Islanders more so than the Rangers.
Riki moving out with the puck. Millette able to bother him enough to take it away momentarily. Now Flatley. Brent Sutter moving across. Drop to Bollock. Back for Sutter. Save Vanbiesbrouck. Sutter puts it in front. Millette picks it up and comes out. Big save by John Vanbiesbrouck. Millette winds up with a shot wide.
Sutter loves to go to the backhand when he's on a one-on-one. He did that again, and Vanbiesbrouck robbed him.
Lafontaine against Rochefort. Stays with him. Around the net he goes. Stays with the penalty. Hit with the stick.
Rochefort's stick came right up into the face of Lafontaine. Lafontaine wearing the shield, and that may have saved him from an injury. High sticking's a call. Lafontaine, who's been outstanding, draws the penalty. This will be the first Islanders power play.
8:06 to go in the second. Islanders leading 3-2.
For 30, nobody.
Rochefort is playing Lafontaine one-on-one. Lafontaine changes speed here, goes wide. Now watch the stick come up there, right over the back of the head of Lafontaine as Rochefort tried to get the stick back in front of Lafontaine. Caught him on the back of the helmet. I thought it was the front before.
That's a bell ringer.
Yes. And it's a 2-minute penalty. It's interesting, the Islanders power play, the difference between the home and the road record.
At home, they're number 15. On the road, they're number 1. And overall, number 2 in the league. Rochefort for high sticking at 11:54.
Ice repair going on. Here's a story for you.
Yeah.
The LA Kings about to get their airplane.
Right.
Their own aircraft, 70 first-class seats. Remember when Dean Kennedy was complaining about how he felt when he was a King? How some players were allowed to fly on the private jet and not others?
Right.
You know what they're going to call the new aircraft? Maybe Air Dino. In memory of Dean Kennedy. That's a thought. It's not for sure. I got a little kick out of that when I heard it. The Islanders power play, if they set up in the offensive zone, they have Lafontaine back on the point, the left point. Crossman's on the right point. He loves to move in, and when he moves in, he'll stay in. He just won't sit back and play in one position, so he moves around quite a bit.
So the Rangers, they're 8th on the road in penalty killing. And a penalty called by Kerry Fraser on the Islanders, and that's it. Power play is over. Flatley's going out.
And Flatley's the player that worked to get the puck in the Rangers zone. He's held up, and there's retaliation on James Patrick, and they both get penalties, Sam.
So no end to the power play. It's
right.
Patrick and Flatley.
Flatley was held up. He swung at Patrick, and Patrick swung back at him. Randy Wood is done for the game, by the way. He's out with an injured left shoulder. That must have happened during this period because he, I believe, was on the bench earlier this period. I counted the players, and I thought they were all there.
Wood scored a goal in the first period.
Right. So that had to happen here during the second period.
Flatley and Patrick. 2 minutes each for slashing at 12:02. Remains an Islander power play. 5-on-4 skating advantage. Brent Sutter on with Bollock, King, Lafontaine playing the left point, and Crossman. Turcotte, Groton, Moeller, and Charlesworth. Long shot blocked by Charlesworth. It's underneath him.
Good play by Charlesworth. He read the play. He took himself down. The thing is, if the player fakes the shot and you go out of the play, you're taken out completely. Charlesworth reads this, and he'll go down facing the low shot. Pretty good job. And held on to the puck, covered it right up. Volek and King were in front of Vanbiesbrouck. Good play by Charlesworth.
He's played pretty well in this game.
He has. He was a defenseman in the corner when the puck was put in front for Lafontaine's goal. Here's Ron Smith talking with Charlesworth. I don't know if he's telling him to make sure if you're going to go down, you better get the puck, because if you don't, you take yourself out of the play.
Crossman back to Lafontaine. Kissio and Mullen on now for the Rangers. Crossman. Darren King long boards. Brent Sutter in the corner. Pass across, intercepted by Kissio. He comes out. Crossman is back. Kissio moves in. Controls. Stays with the puck. Crossman with a bump. Lafontaine sent flying.
Kissio put his leg out. Lafontaine went flying over top right in front of Carey Fraser.
Sutter across with the puck is hit. And Vanbiesbrouck playing it in the corner. Volek back for Derek King. King. Missed and out of the zone. 50 seconds to go on the penalty to Normand Rochefort.
Terrific penalty killing by the Rangers over the first minute, 10-15 seconds here. Aggressive in all zones.
Lafontaine avoided the check of Mullen. Moving in against Bloomberg. Drops it to Volek. Back for Lafontaine, and it's blocked in front.
Well, this guy's on fire. He is on fire. Lafontaine having a great afternoon here.
Everybody's playing at one speed. He's playing two levels above that.
You can't deny him that. He's playing very well at a very high level.
Centered for Kerr. Gloved by Vanbiesbrouck. Wide of the net. He holds it.
Lauer set up Kerr for the shot. And Vanbiesbrouck held on to delay things and get the face-off. Still, well, I can't see. The clock does not say. Yes, 22 seconds remaining. Here's Lafontaine. Now watch here as he drops it off. He drives to the net. And he tries a spin-around deflection shot. He got it. And Vanbiesbrouck made the save. Lafontaine plays without fear. He'll go to the net, does so, and gets the puck back.
That was that same deflection that he scored on. But you know one thing, one of the reasons he can do that is he's much stronger. When he first came into the league, he'd take a pounding in front. Now he's able to withstand that. It was better than ever before.
Just like knocking a little puppy dog around. Now he's matured, much stronger physically, and he's smarter and quicker, I think, Sam.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him set up very much behind Vanbiesbrouck and try the wraparound. It's been Sutter 2 or 3 times, but not Lafontaine.
Just once in that first period that I can recall.
You know, when Vanbiesbrouck was not playing in the game in Toronto, he spent extra time at practice during that day working on the wraparound to prepare for this one.
He'll play at least 30 minutes in this game, John, before it's over. 6:28 remaining in the second period. Islanders on the power play, leading 3-2.
Played close to 25 already. We still have 6:28 remaining here.
Good
in the
play
second
by
period.
Turcotte on the face-off. He knocked it right out of the zone. Turcotte played a heads-up game. Finley leading Kerr. Back for Diduck. Finley across the line. Swept away by Charlesworth. Lauer to Finley, and a save by Vanbiesbrouck. Finley going right to the net. Diduck, long shot. Save Vanbiesbrouck, and he puts the rebound away. Team's back at full strength. Turcotte on the move. Lead to Rochefort. Rochefort against Finley. Rochefort still has it. Centers. Intercepted by Lafontaine. Kerr comes out. There's Lafontaine playing the defensive end. Lauer across the line. Broken up by Horschiva. Kerr takes it. Still has it. Looking for McDonough. Tees it up. Pass across to Baumgartner toward the net. Deflected wide by Kerr. Vanbiesbrouck got knocked down by Kerr and knocks him back.
Well, he went right at Kerr with his stick and pushing and shoving. The Islanders continue to go to the goal. Right to the net.
McDonough against Horschiva. Pass all the way across. Baumgartner is in. Slides it in front. Shot wide by Don Maloney. Maloney to Baumgartner. All the way across. What a setup by Baumgartner for Maloney. Here's a lead for Turcotte moving in. Turcotte knocked away by Baumgartner. Big play by Kenny Baumgartner. Maloney comes back. He leads Turcotte off his skate. Turcotte centers. Vanbiesbrouck got a stick on it. 5 minutes to go, second period. 3-2, Islanders leading it. Lindy Ruff slowed down on the play. Toward the net. Deflection by Gartner and a save by Fitzpatrick. Out from Maloney in center. Now it's McDonough across the line. Rochefort is there. Drop to Maloney. Gartner stays with Maloney. McDonough knocked down by Rochefort. Puck is loose. Turcotte looking for it. He's got it. Knocked away from him by Rochefort. Maloney in the corner. Hit by Lindy Ruff. Gartner tries to clear the zone. Diduck keeps it in. Down the boards. Around the other side, Maloney goes for it. Bernie Nichols is there. McDonough takes it back but falls down. Now Nichols finds Ruff open. Gartner knocked down in center ice by Turcotte. Off the boards to Turcotte. Taps it to Brent Sutter, comes out. 4 minutes to go in the second period. Bollock sent flying and Fraser letting them play. Diduck moving it ahead. It's loose. Vanbiesbrouck can't control. They score! Brent Sutter! And it's a 4-2 Islander lead. Here in the second period by the Islanders.
The puck was kept in, and then there's a bouncing puck. The save made off of the kick shot by Turcotte, and Sutter's able to roof it just under the crossbar as he reaches out for the puck. The Islanders getting lots of scoring chances in close, right around the goal crease all game long. And here's Sutter, not picked up, not knocked down. He's able to roof it. Boy, Sam, that's a great shot. That puck was in tight to Vanbiesbrouck, and he really had to roof it on the backhand. Sutter loves to use the backhand when he takes shots around the goal, and on that play, he roofed it. The puck was kept in at the blue line, and the Islanders have a 2-goal lead.
26th goal of the season for Brent Sutter. And the Islanders with a 2-goal lead, the first 2-goal lead of the game. Here's Sutter moving in again, but the Islanders are offside. Sutter from Turcotte and Diduck at 16:06. So the Islanders with 3 goals here in the second period. Lafontaine, Bollock, and Sutter. And the Rangers with just 1.
Sam,
the Islanders with the 4-2 lead.
That was Diduck who kept the puck in at the blue line. Look at Baumgartner, his best play of the game as he robbed the puck and stole it right away from Turcotte. Baumgartner had set up a scoring chance to Maloney on that same shift and then backtracked to break up the attempted shot by Turcotte.
Sutter working against Torsheva in the corner. 3:25 to go in the second period. James Patrick gets to the puck. He's bumped but able to get it out of the zone.
Tell you, the day of the leprechaun on the ice has been Lafontaine, hasn't he?
Boy. Lafontaine is not an Irish name, but Patty is. He's been great. Roddick sending it in, and Lafontaine on the ice once again, moving it around to Baumgartner. Moeller keeps it in the zone. Just under 3 minutes to go in the second period. Kissio trying to move toward the net. Cleared out by Crossman. Sliding all the way down. This will be an icing. The first icing of the game against the Islanders. 2:45 to go, second period. Islanders leading 4-2. Remember, when you're having good times with good friends, use good sense and drink responsibly. Please know when to say when. A reminder from Anheuser-Busch.
Shots on goal in the second period, 14-8 in favor of the Islanders.
You think she'll save us some popcorn?
I don't need it.
Oh, you ate most of ours. I didn't even. I got a handful.
Breakfast and lunch.
That's a tough breakfast and lunch. If you'd have called me, I would have gotten you a bagel on the way over.
Or 2.
Might have even gotten you a green bagel. Or Bill Clancy gave me a green bagel last night. I don't know. It felt good, but it didn't look good. 2:20 to go in the second. 4-2 Islanders. Kerr clears to Lafontaine. Trottier moving in. Ball brought in on him. Alan Kerr in the corner. Moeller picks him up. Rangers clear the zone. Rangers 19 shots on goal, 8 here in the second period. Islanders with 14 shots in the second. Don Maloney, Kerr heading for the net. Centered all the way through. Lafontaine left it for Crossman. Around the boards to Maloney. Kerr is set up in front, battling Moeller. Lafontaine's all alone. Nobody sees him, but he's all alone calling for the puck. Around the boards, and there he goes for it. It's remarkable how he gets open like that. He just knows how to move into position.
Well, you're as quick as a water bug out there. It certainly helps. Speed really makes a difference, and when you're small like Lafontaine is, compared to the other players in the league, you have to be quick. You try and go out and hit him, it's almost impossible because he's so evasive.
Bloomberg sending it toward the Islanders zone.
Fans don't understand. They say, hit Gretzky. Why don't you go out and hit him? Take him out of the play. You try and hit him. It's almost impossible. He thinks ahead of most people. Lafontaine's a smart thinking player, and he's quicker than most people.
Rangers called for offside as you look at Alan Kerr, who was hit along the boards and had his helmet knocked off here.
We'll see the play as the Rangers send 3 people in there. That's Broughton with Kerr. And Kerr comes across Broughton with the right hand. There comes the helmet. Corner work, the board work amongst the 2 teams.
Minute 17 remaining in the second period. Following the second period, Randy Bowler will be in our studio as our special guest, and we'll have a feature look at the Kissio line. Kissio, Ogrodnik, and Mullen, and their fine play this season. And John and I will also look at highlights. Alan Kerr a little upset. And the Islanders have done an outstanding job of shutting down the Kissio, Mullen, Ogrodnik line in this game.
Well, the Islanders don't want to set a record, Sam. They've tied the record for most winless games during a season on a stretch, and that was set way, way back in '72 at 14. They've tied it. They don't want to set a new one.
That's a team record.
Team record, right.
Brent Sutter moving in. Puck picked up by Brad Lauer, broken up by Bloomberg. And Bloomberg able to send out Bernie Nichols. Joined by Millette down the middle. Millette heads for the net. Nichols with the puck. Sends it toward the net. It's blocked. Shot by Gartner. Save Fitzpatrick.
And Gartner didn't get a clean shot. A nice setup by Nichols as Gartner drove to the net. That's the best scoring chance the Rangers have had in a few moments.
Pass deflected across enough so that Nichols was offside on the play, and getting up slowly is Patrick Flatley. 26 seconds remaining in this second period.
Nichols looking around elevates the pass, and there's Gartner, and you can see Fitzpatrick made a nice save, but Gartner never got a real clean shot, a real hard shot on the play.
Ryan Mullen on the ice.
Good. Mullen going into his option year, Kissio going into his option year, and Ogrodnik on his last year. Why don't we get out of this business, maybe get in the agent business for these 3, huh?
Good work.
Yeah, man,
bring them all in as a threesome.
Huh? Yeah.
Like Koufax and Drysdale when they work together.
Once they get their deals done, and which they deserve, maybe you and I retire. All 3 deserve some pretty good attention after having a great year.
Kerr with a shot off the arm of Vanbiesbrouck. 15 seconds to go in the period. Mullen. Ogrodnik picks it up. Lead to Kissio. Backhands it. It's blocked by Croston. Ogrodnik to the puck. Final seconds of the period. And that's it.
Mullen and Kerr, Sam. Kerr was coming back with Mullen and put his stick in Mullen's face. Mullen went back and was going to wallop him with a 2-hander, and then caught himself as Kerry Fraser watched it all. Kerry Fraser's let the 2 teams battle here this afternoon.
John Vanbiesbrouck burned for 3 goals in the second period. At 48 seconds, Lafontaine made it 2-1. King tied it at 3:39. Then Volek and Sutter made it 4-2. We'll be right back. From Lafontaine and Fitzpatrick at 4:46. So you don't change any numbers because Flatley has 16. It would have been Volek 16. All you change is the name. Flatley gets that goal. Turcotte, King, Gartner now playing the right side. And Gartner getting some double shift action as Coach Roger Nielsen looking to get some offense going here.
Trail by 2. You have to start thinking goals. Not getting trapped or going too crazy in the offensive zone, but you need offense.
Moeller and Charlesworth paired on defense. Islanders send it in. Islanders have Lafontaine with Kerr and Trottier. Baumgartner and Crossman. Kris King able to clear the zone. One time earlier this season, the Rangers were able to rally in the third period against the Islanders. They were down 5-2. That was at Madison Square Garden. The game ended in a 5-5 tie. Diduck hit hard by Kris King. Islanders trying to break a 14-game winless streak. Orsheva back for it. And trying to earn an even split in the season series. Rangers have won 3, Islanders 2, and there's been 1 tie. Orsheva sending it out. Correct myself. Rangers have won 3, Islanders have won 1.
2 games tie.
2 ties. Right. 0-0 tie, the 5-5 tie. Flatley against Orsheva. Brent Sutter gets to the puck. Picked up by Kissio. Crossman looking. Slides it in front. Deflected off the skate wide of the net. Flatley's got it. Grodnick brings it out. Slowed down by Flatley. Kissio picks it up. Brings it in. Trying to beat Crossman. Couldn't do it. Knocked down by Mullen. And Flatley able to work it off the arm of Brent Sutter and out of the zone. Kissio tripped up in center. Brent Sutter moving in with the big shot. Saved by Vanbiesbrouck. James Patrick has the puck. Now Normand Rochefort. Rochefort seems to be skating okay, John, after...
I watched him the next shift. He seemed to be all right.
Yeah. Gartner now on with Millette and Nichols. Millette working off the boards, trying to get out in front. McDonough staying with him. Gartner missed the pass. It deflected away. Baumgartner on Gartner. Maloney with a takeaway. Hubie McDonough taken down by Nichols. Play continues. Hard hit on Vakota by Rochefort. Second time that's happened in the game. Millette brings it across. Behind the back pass. Nobody there except Don Maloney for the Islanders. Brad Lauer brings it in against James Patrick. Centers and it hits the side of the net. Bounces loose. Todd Charlesworth plays it up to Mike Gartner.
Al Arbour rotating 5 defensemen as Dean Chenault sitting and watching.
Back forward is Joe Ricci. Randy Wood left the game for the Islanders with a bruised shoulder. Shoulder injury in any event. Icing called on the Islanders. 16:51 to go in the 3rd period. Islanders with a 2-goal lead. We'll be right back.
Everywhere.
That's getting really up close and personal with Mike Gartner. 16:51 left, 3rd period. Mike Gartner has had 4 goals in 4 games as a Ranger. This is his 5th since coming over from Minnesota. Rangers back home tomorrow night to take on the Vancouver Canucks. We'll be on the air with Game Night at 7 o'clock. Patrick Flatley given credit for his 16th goal of the season.
Chenault now on the ice, so the Islanders are using all 6 defensemen, as are the Rangers.
Paul Broughton wrapped up. Kevin Miller centers for Lindy Ruff. It deflected across, and here comes Brent Sutter. The corner boards. Trottier slowed down. The puck slides out of the zone. Jeff Finley to Dean Chenault. Lafontaine on the move. Watch out. Rangers able to break up the play. Todd Charlesworth blocked by Alan Kerr. It rolls out of the zone. Kevin Miller. Broughton plays it around the boards. You mentioned the Rangers' injured players. Rangers hope to have Chris Nyland back for the playoffs and hope to have Carey Wilson, Mark Hardy back before the playoffs.
Well, Carey Wilson would love to play in Quebec City 2 Wednesdays, I believe, or 1 Wednesday from next Wednesday. Tuesday, pardon me. And Mark Hardy, he had reacted very strongly to skating once he came back from the injury, but the next couple of days his ankle showed some soreness, so it may be a little longer than expected.
Gartner on with King and Turcotte. The puck deflects over the glass into the crowd, and play stops with 15:33 remaining in the 3rd period. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the expressed written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated, is prohibited. And you see the numbers on the New York Islanders. Al Arbour with Lauren Henning alongside. Ryan Trottier nearest to you. The Islanders with a 2-goal lead. Gartner plays it into the corner, and Doug Crossman goes back for it. Quiet start to this third period. Vanbiesbrouck leaves it. No, decides to play it up the middle. Finds Turcotte. Nice pass. Turcotte to Kris King. He shoots wide. All the way out. Brent Sutter's got it. Sutter whacked with a stick by King. Leads Bollock into the zone. Bollock takes the shot. Vanbiesbrouck steers it away. Flatley. Checked by Rochefort. Sutter. Checked by Rochefort. And Vanbiesbrouck decides to cover up side of the net. Whistle stops play with 14:46 left. Third period. Islanders leading. The big fights are back. Once again, historic Madison Square Garden will host a blockbuster boxing show on Wednesday, April 4th, as top contenders Michael Dynamite Dokes and Donovan Razor Ruddock square off in the 12-round main event of a spectacular night of heavyweights. Former champions James Bone Crusher Smith and Mike Hercules Weaver meet in a scheduled 12-rounder. Plus, Edwin Rosario defends his World Lightweight Championship. The big fights are back. That's the hat I wanted to wear on camera.
The guy stole my stomach. The day of the green, huh? Aaron Gobra. They've all got these glasses in their hands. I don't understand it. Be careful driving, everybody.
Centered in front, tipped wide by Trottier. Rochefort moving it along. Grodnick starts to move up ice. Goes past the Mullen. Gave it away to Alan Kerr. 14:30 to go in the third. Reiki back for it. Around the boards, Alan Kerr picks it up. And Rochefort comes over to hit him. Rochefort, he just hits anybody near him.
He throws the body well, and he's smart. See how he hit in front of Kerr to impede Kerr's progress? That's how you take a man out.
Oh, Grodnick, quick snapshot and a beautiful glove save by Mark Fitzpatrick.
Fitzpatrick showing great glove speed on the play. Kissio dropped the puck back as he went forward, providing the screen. And Fitzpatrick with a fine catching save. Good pass up the ice. There's a good hustling play by Kissio. Now watch it just leave it. And Grodnick snaps it. Very seldom does he go this high. And there's Fitzpatrick. And by the way, Billy Smith was in town last week. And it seems like whenever he's in to talk to Fitzpatrick, Fitzpatrick seems to respond in a very positive fashion. Fitzpatrick's played well in this game.
14:09 remaining. And John O'Grodnick will stop. Good quick snapshot by O'Grodnick. 41 goals on the season for Johnny O. Minnesota has defeated Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh 6-2. Mike Modano with a hat trick. Brian Bellows with his 46th. John Cullen had his 31st for Pittsburgh. The shot by James Patrick. Deflected wide. Brent Sutter sending it around to Patrick Flatley.
All of a sudden, the North Stars playing well. A win in Toronto, a win in Pittsburgh. They tied the Rangers in a game they played very well at home. But they lost to New Jersey at home.
Long shot from the point by Baumgartner going wide. Well, they, of course, in a torrid battle with the Detroit Red Wings for the fourth playoff spot. And those two teams tied. Now Minnesota 2 points ahead and 8 games remaining for both. Minnesota with a 2-point lead on Detroit. And Vanbiesbrouck leaves it for Randy Moeller. 13:30 to go in the third. Tipped away by Reiki, taken back by Kevin Miller. Moeller on with Charlesworth. Don Maloney sends it in. Short hop by Vanbiesbrouck. Fired out, kept in by McDonough. Charlesworth. Reiki taking it back. And the Rangers have to play it in their own zone. Islander fans like the way their team is playing. Diduck with a takeaway. The shot tipped by Lindy Ruff. Don Maloney is there to take it. Picked up by McDonough with some room. Save Vanbiesbrouck. McDonough again knocked away by Moeller. And McDonough is very quick.
He is, and he has to be. He's another small player, Sam. That now allows the Rangers defensemen to get a change. Moeller and Charlesworth were out for a long period of time. And McDonough with that quick speed. He snapped a pretty good shot there that Vanbiesbrouck played the angle well on.
Jeff Bloomberg Lifting it ahead, Gartner clearing the zone. Paul Broughton comes back in, but the Rangers are offside. 12:23 to go in the third period. Islanders leading 4-2 tonight here on Madison Square Garden Network. The New York Knicks back in action, taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. It begins with Knicks game night at 7 o'clock. Hope you'll join us.
As far as one-goal games go, and this one right now is a 2-goal Islander lead. The Rangers are 14-11. 7 and 8 of those on the road. 7 wins, 8 losses on the road in one-goal games. The Islanders are 7 and 13 on the season, losing their last 2 one-goal game decisions. On home ice, they've won 4 and lost 5.
What a difference this man makes in the lineup for the New York Islanders. He has sparked the game this afternoon with a goal and 2 assists.
Won the Good Guy Award amongst his teammates, voted by the Professional Hockey Writers Association. Kelly Kissio won it for the Rangers.
Derek King brings it across the line. Long shot sticked aside by Vanbiesbrouck. Centered all the way through. Each team with only 1 power play chance in the game, and that's something that is very rare. Rangers, of course, leading the league in most power play chances. Gary Fraser has let this game play on.
That and the Islanders have played maybe their smartest game of the season series between the 2 clubs. And including in that is not only the players but the coaching staff.
It's interesting that Gary Nyland was scratched by the Islanders. The Rangers have taken advantage of him this season.
He's had some injuries.
Pollock getting around Millette. Blocked in front by James Patrick, and it's out of the zone. 11:28 remaining in the third period. Islanders 4 and the Rangers 2. Rangers have played well in third periods this season against the Islanders, outscoring them 10-3, but thus far unable to get on the board to close the gap. Orjava checked by Flatley. James Patrick gets it out to Mike Gartner. Kris King is wide left. They crisscross. Gartner fakes the shot on Diduck. Diduck rides him out. Kris King's shot is blocked by Ricci. Gartner taken down. Diduck goes off. Penalty called. So the Rangers will get a power play chance here in the third with 11:01 to go. We'll be right back. Diduck for holding at 8:59. Second power play for the Rangers. They're 0 for 1. Had 3 shots on goal on their first one. That was back in the first period.
About 3 times this game, Mike Gartner has been dragged down. This is the first time where the Islanders have been called on it. And it's Diduck there grabbing the jersey and pulling Mike Gartner backwards and off balance and down. The Rangers need one here as they trail by 2. 11:01 remaining. They have Turcotte back on the point.
And Bloomberg at the other point. Kissio, Molyneux, Grodnick up front. The Islanders counter with Brent Sutter, Don Maloney, Brad Lauer, and Joe Ricci. No, that's Crossman, not Maloney, excuse me. Crossman and Ricci, Lauer and Sutter. Turcotte. O'Grodnick along the boards. Kissio set up in the slot. Shot by O'Grodnick off the glove of Fitzpatrick. O'Grodnick looking for the short side. Lauer able to clear. Vanbiesbrouck out. Almost a mix-up with Kissio. Pass across to Mullen. Across the line, Turcotte getting it to Kissio. Now for O'Grodnick. Up the boards for Turcotte, but it's cleared out by Hubie McDonough, who's on with Maloney now. Vanbiesbrouck leaves it for Bloomberg. Maloney chasing him. Bloomberg wards off the check. Bloomberg across the line. Around the boards. Turcotte waits for it. Picked up by Hubie McDonough. Sends it the other way around the glass. So Grodnick into the corner. Gave it away to Ricci. Unable to clear. Turcotte able to keep it in. Kissio tied up with Fitzpatrick. Trying to work it free. Trying to get it out in front. It almost shoved in by Maloney as he tried to tuck it under the goaltender. Yeah, Fitzpatrick finally fell down on it.
I think he was behind the goal line almost, Sam, and he shuffled it back. Maloney and McDonough kill penalties as a pair. They play on the same line at even strength. And they provide some pretty good penalty killing for this club. They were very strong in that game in the Garden, even though the Rangers won it 6-3. Rangers unable to get a good shot here. Los Angeles comes back.
Big comeback, just as they did in Buffalo.
Yes.
When they won in overtime. The Kings were down in this game by a score of 4-1 and rally for a 5-4 win in the third period.
That's 3 in a row on the road and 4 in a row that the Kings have won. They won in New York against the Rangers, in Buffalo, and now in Boston. Oh my, the proper time of the year to get on a roll.
Turcotte gets it back to Orjava. The other cheer you heard was for the posting of the Pittsburgh loss. Island fans like that as they hope to make the playoffs. Turcotte's shot is blocked by Lauer. Picked up by Finley. Hit hard by Millette. Here comes Turcotte to the net. Slides it in front. They score! Mike Gartner. It's a power play goal. And Turcotte again makes a big play.
He was flying. Turcotte just flies with a puck. Makes some moves. And Gartner waited for the puck to come to him. Gartner's 39th goal of the season. His 19th on the power play. Sam, look at Turcotte break through. Cuts it one side to draw attention. And a nice pass back across. And the pass is facing Gartner so Gartner can use his forehand. Big check there along the boards by Millette. Broke the puck free. It's a 3-on-1, only Crossman back. And bang, bang, Turcotte with a backhand pass to Gartner for the forehand shot.
Gartner with 5 goals as a Ranger, 4 on the power play. 5 goals in 5 games as a New York Ranger. So now it's a 4-3 game, and the Rangers capitalize on the power play.
Millette does not get an assist on the play, but he made the play by banging the body. Put on top of that, that's one of the few times the Islanders have taken a penalty in this game. Gartner drew the penalty and Gartner scored the goal.
Kevin Miller brings it out. Turcotte gets the only assist. Miller moving in, trying to beat Rinky. Rinky stopped him. There's the zone, knocked down by Paul Broughton. He's tripped up by Derek King. The goal is Gartner, his 39th from Turcotte at 10:20. And a whistle for an offside, stopping play. And the Rangers are within 1 in that game up in Boston with a score of 4-1. Robitaille, Granato, and Gretzky unassisted for the game winner at 18:20. So Tony Granato with 2 goals in less than 2 minutes that got the LA Kings tied. Gretzky got the game winner.
And Ron Scott with the win now has a .500 record, 5 wins, 5 losses.
Good for him. He's a good guy. Bernie Nichols setting up. 4-3, Islanders leading it. Rangers led 1-0. Islanders took a 2-1 lead. Rangers tied at 2-2, and Islanders upped it to 4-2. Moeller's shot off the left arm of Fitzpatrick. Gartner bumped by Baumgartner. Nice move by Millette. Looking, centering for Rochefort, tipped out by Trottier. Rangers did a little crowding of the net themselves there. Gartner tipping it ahead. Baumgartner sending it the other way. Under 9 minutes to go in the 3rd period. 4-3 Islanders. Gartner batted out by Baumgartner. Kerr to Trottier. Long shot stopped by Vanbiesbrouck. Moeller looks around.
Shots 5-5 here in the 3rd period. The power play for the Rangers looks to have given them some momentum here.
Pretty move by Nichols. Soft shot goes wide of the net. Nichols again. Back pass to Bloomberg. Tees it up. Long shot. Save Fitzpatrick. Gartner almost got there for a tip. Gartner wards off the check. Gets it to Nichols. Millette setting up in front. Nice move by Nichols. Picked up by Baumgartner with a good hit. Gartner working against Crossman. And the puck taken out by Alan Kerr. Kerr joined by Lafontaine. Kerr moving in. Knocked away. Trottier with a quick shot. Save Vanbiesbrouck. And a good one. Horsheva behind the net. Around the boards. But Kerr gets there first. Turns. Lost it. Troy Millette clears the zone. Nichols couldn't handle it. 7:55 to go in the 3rd.
Wouldn't it be nice to see 80 games a season like this?
Oh, man.
It's been a good one.
And no fights. Just one roughing. Kissio turns, sends it up the boards. And Diduck goes back for it. Rangers will be called for icing. 7:34 to go. 3rd period. Sold out. Nassau Coliseum alive in a 4-3 game.
Here on MSG Network.
The veteran Brian Trottier had a good chance on John Vanbiesbrouck.
He had lots of time, too. Here you see Baumgartner with a body check. And now the puck starts to work its way out of the zone as Crossman held up Gartner. Now when Trottier gets the shot here, look at the time he has as he picks up the puck here. There's nobody within 20 feet of him. So he moves in for a closer shot, snapped it through traffic, and Vanbiesbrouck kicked it away.
Back to the live action. The Rangers clearing the zone. Gerald Diduck back for the puck. Rangers with Kissio, Grodnick, and Mullen on the ice. Bollock picks it up. Pollock across with a long shot that's wide. Charlesworth takes it. Ogrodnik sends out Kissio. Try to drop it for Mullen. Taken back by Ogrodnik. Lead to Mullen. Mullen across the line. Tripped up by Diduck. And as he was tripped up, sent it up into the crowd. And the faceoff comes out of the zone.
Rangers have to continue to remember to go forward with the puck in a one-goal game. There was a drop pass there in the neutral zone and a turnover.
2 stars in this game as far as I'm concerned. That's Pat Lafontaine for the Islanders, Darren Turcotte for the Rangers.
Well, they both played a superb game, and remember, we mentioned it once earlier, they're the 2 speed players. Turcotte for the Rangers, Lafontaine for the Islanders, and the speed has really shown something in this game.
Kevin Miller contributing with a couple of assists.
Only 3 power play opportunities in this game.
Rangers are 1 for 2, Islanders 0 for 1. Hubie McDonough with a takeaway, putting it in the Rangers zone. Moeller. Rangers work it out. Crossman. And Moeller back for it. Stopped by Vanbiesbrouck. 6:45 to go in the third period. 4-3, Islanders leading it. Up the middle to Maloney. Rochefort was set to take a run at Maloney, but he was too far out in neutral zone. Kevin Miller hooked by Vakota and slowed down. Fitzpatrick playing it up the boards. Kevin Miller couldn't block it. Maloney sends out McDonough. Moves around Rochefort. McDonough overskates the puck. King goes the other way with Turcotte. King across against Crossman. Drops it into the corner. Baumgartner and Turcotte swept up the boards and out of the zone. And played by Bloomberg. Now Horsheva. Deflects to Vakota. And here comes Maloney across the line with a shot. Wide of the net. Bounces into the crease. Vanbiesbrouck leaves it for Horsheva. Just under 6 minutes to go in the third. Horsheva moves by Lafontaine. Fitzpatrick out to stop it.
That would have been icing if you let it go.
Out for Derek King. And across to Brad Lauer against Troy Millette. Lauer goes down. Plays it in front. Stick to side by Vanbiesbrouck and out. Riki comes back for it.
Rangers rotating 3 lines as we move along here as the Jansen's line with Ruff and Broughton. Not seeing a lot of ice time. The Rangers still trail by 1.
Giveaway by Vanbiesbrouck, but missed by Derek King. Vanbiesbrouck tried to play that one-handed up the boards and didn't get much on it. Takeaway by Derek King. Horsheva bumps him, but King stays with the puck. King looks to make a play. Down low, intercepted by James Patrick. Patrick moving. Drops it into the Islanders zone. Played off the boards by Diduck. 5 minutes to go in the third period. Islanders 4 and the Rangers 3. Play stops with 4:59 to go in the third. We'll be right back.
Cheers.
Vancouver Canucks in New York tomorrow night take on the Rangers at Madison Square Garden. We'll be on the air with Rangers Game Night at 7 o'clock. Join us. Kissio, Ogrodnik, Mullen, Moeller, and Charlesworth for the Rangers. Sutter winning the faceoff, losing the puck to Kissio. Kissio tied up by Baumgartner. It's Ogrodnik with it. Moving, feeding Moeller. Looking, shooting, save Fitzpatrick through the screen. Scramble in front, and Sutter away with the puck.
And Baumgartner was in trouble. He's lost his stick. Now finally gets a chance to retrieve it.
Flatley across the line, but Sutter was pulled in by Kissio, and offside Islanders on the play. 4:34 to go in the third period.
Those are obvious interference plays, but no penalties handed out, where one player pushes the opposition player over the blue line before the puck moves in. So offside is called, and Kissio with the smart play. Here you see Baumgartner, 24, without his stick. A good save through traffic, and the Rangers can't quite get to the rebound as Ogrodnik tried. Again, it was Baumgartner who had lost his stick in the corner, thought twice about going to get it, and never had time. 4:34 remaining, Islanders 4, Rangers 3.
Shots are 7 apiece here in the third period. 34-27 in favor of the Islanders for the game. Brent Sutter winning the face-off. Baumgartner firing it in. Sharp carom. Open net. Flatley with a shot stopped by Vanbiesbrouck. Vanbiesbrouck had gone out to play the puck around the boards. And momentarily the net was wide open. Sutter across. Gave it away to Ogrodnik. With 4:15 to go in the third. Out for Kissio. Couldn't handle it. Baumgartner the other way. Rochefort there. Play it back. Mullen lifts it in.
The Rangers have played their best period, I think, here in the third period, Sam.
Sutter with a nice pass to Bollock. Lost control, picked up by Flatley. Across to Sutter. Score!
What a shot! What a bullet by Sutter! Flatley makes the play. He interferes with Brian Mullen in the neutral zone to open up some ice. And then when Flatley got the puck, 2 Rangers went at Flatley. Nobody picked up Sutter. Here's Bullock going into the offensive zone. Look at 2 Rangers go over at Flatley right there. That means there's somebody open. There's Sutter. And did he rifle this up high and beat Vanbiesbrouck? I mean, a big-time rifle here. 3 Rangers actually went over to Flatley. 3 of them. That meant somebody open. Flatley not only drew the people to him, but he found the open man. And Sutter, with a rifle of a shot, high beats Vanbiesbrouck. And Sam, prior to the puck going over the blue line, Flatley interfered with Mullen, twisted him and turned him right around off balance. He got away with it, a smart play, and then he made the play in the offensive zone.
Here comes Lafontaine. Horseva able to take it away. So the Islanders have regained the 2-goal lead. Brent Sutter's second goal of the game, kept in by Diduck. Rotten trying to get it out of the zone. Bothered by Kerr, and it's picked up by Gartner. Gartner across the line. Trottier taking it away nicely. And Kerr with a 2-line pass. And play stops. Sutter, second of the game, is 27th from Flatley and Bollock at 16:05. It's 5-3. Not much time left for a Rangers comeback. 3:22 to go as Roger Nielsen surveys the situation. Islanders with a 5-3 lead, seeking to break a 14-game winless streak. Nichols pushing it ahead. It's played by Doug Crossman. Islander win will put them even with the Washington Capitals, and the Caps playing tonight on home ice against Vancouver. Charlesworth winding up with a shot that's wide of the net. Fitzpatrick plays it around the boards. Fitzpatrick has played a strong game, John.
Yes, he has, Sam. He hasn't had a lot of rebounds or as much traffic as Vanbiesbrouck had during this game, but he's made a couple of big saves here in the third period.
Capitals will have 2 games in hand on the Islanders prior to tonight's game. Following this game, will have 7 games remaining. Almost a giveaway by Charlesworth. Moeller sending it ahead.
And New Jersey plays in Edmonton in what should be a big game for the Devils tonight.
They are to make a run at the Rangers in first place and have the chance to pick up a couple of points. Goes within 6, and they would have a game in hand. And the puck frozen in the corner with 2:05 to go. Islanders with a 5-3 lead. And the great Brian Trottier. Injuries seem to creep in each year on him, John.
Well, he's punished his body a lot throughout the years. I don't think he scored a goal since that 500th that he scored.
Alan Kerr heading to the Islander locker room, I believe with the equipment trainer.
Maybe the last time we see Jimmy Pickard, the trainer on the Islander bench. He's retiring at the end of the season. So we'll live in the promised land of the western United States, up in so near Seattle, Washington, somewhere where I guess old trainers go up there. Jerry Maloney.
I thought the promised land was Palm Springs.
That's too expensive down there. This is the next best. Wish him well.
Patrick to Mullen. Good job by the Islanders. Long shot by Lauer is stopped. Derek King has it knocked away as they have shut down. They have shut down the New York Rangers top line of Kissio, Grodnick, and Mullen. Bouncer into the pads of Vanbiesbrouck. Patrick takes it. 1:25 to go. And the Islanders about to break the 14-game winless streak. An important win for them. Rangers got to within one. There's Turcotte knocked down. Turcotte's had a fine game for the Rangers with a goal and 2 assists. Less than a minute to go. Rangers won the first game here at the Nassau Coliseum this season. Since then, it's been a tie and now 2 straight Islander wins. And an offside stops play. 45 seconds to go.
Vanbiesbrouck out past the hash marks, and Roger Nielsen put up the sign and said no. 45 seconds on the clock. 5-3 Islanders, and it doesn't look like, well, actually Roger Nielsen right now calls correction. The Islanders beat him to it. Roger Nielsen put the signal up, but Al Arbour got there first. The timeout called by the Islanders. It's a 5-3 2-goal Islander lead. Roger Nielsen can now discuss with his people what he wants to do if the Rangers control the puck, whether they want Vanbiesbrouck off now or after the face-off. And Al Arbour has been waiting a long time to try and win one.
How about a big game tomorrow afternoon here at the Nassau Coliseum? The Islanders and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Islanders, with this win this afternoon, will be only 2 points behind Pittsburgh and even in games played. So with 7 games remaining, those 2 teams meet here tomorrow afternoon, and an Islander win would put them right back in the playoff picture.
This will give the Islanders 67 points if they win. Philadelphia has 63. They play tonight in Quebec, and they've been in Quebec for a couple of nights, Sam. When they played their last home game, which they beat the Islanders, they chartered right after the game to Quebec City to start thinking hockey and trying to win up there to try and get their team in the playoff picture.
I hope they were thinking hockey for their sakes and not thinking about the French food and those great restaurants up there.
Well, that's you and me.
Oh.
And we go.
All right,
Rangers have pulled.
Yes. Gone to the bench. 6 skaters on for the Rangers. 45 seconds remaining.
Rangers have 5 forwards on the ice. Only Patrick, a defenseman.
Millette, Nichols, Ogrodnik, Patrick, Gartner, and Turcotte. Sutter able to clear the zone. Ogrodnik couldn't get it into the zone. Brent Sutter gets to the red line. He's got a hat trick. Brent Sutter for the empty net goal. Puts this game away, and a fine conclusion to the game for the Islanders and for their captain, Brent Sutter.
The Rangers tried to work the puck in. Here's the turnover. Sutter did all the work. He takes a look. He gains the center ice line, so it wouldn't be called icing. And he bocce balls the puck all the way down the ice surface into the goal. And I did see 1 hat on the ice.
That's all?
That's all.
Oh,
it's a hat trick. 3 goals for Brent Sutter. Now another one near Vanbiesbrouck. The Islanders battled hard in this game. Their leader, Lafontaine, gave the Islanders a fabulous first 2 periods of play. And the Islanders have scrapped and worked and deserved a win here this afternoon.
Excellent game. As you said early, John, they played a smart game. Did not take bad penalties at all. Never got themselves in a hole. The defense played sound. Did not get caught out of position. Very few rebounds for Mark Fitzpatrick.
When you think of their first 2 periods, Sam, how many times they went to the net. And sooner or later, when you do that, something's got to develop.
15 seconds to go as the Islanders closing the book on a 6-3 win. That shot tipped away. Lauer centers. Vanbiesbrouck stops it. And 1 more whistle. 2 seconds remaining. And the Rangers are starting to skate off, but there's 2 seconds on the clock. John,
the whistle never sounded, Sam. The whistle never sounded. The timekeeper thought that he heard a whistle. Kerry Fraser's now skating over saying time has expired. The whistle never sounded. Fraser never blew it knowing there was 2 seconds left. And the timekeeper was a little quick with the old switch. It's a 6-3 Islander win.
Sure, meaningless anyway. So the New York Islanders with a very, very big win as they defeat the New York Rangers 6-3 as they break the 14-game winless streak. Their first win since February the 10th in Boston Garden. The Islanders 6, the Rangers 3. We'll be back with our post-game wrap-up in just a moment. Welcome back to the Nassau Coliseum, where the New York Islanders have defeated the New York Rangers 6-3. Rangers' lead in the Patrick division remains at 8 points, but for the Islanders, a very important win, as they now have 67 points. The Caps have 2 games in hand and will play tonight, but look at the Penguins. Penguins 2 points ahead of the Islanders, and the Islanders beat the Penguins here at the Nassau Coliseum tomorrow afternoon.
And the Devils with 2 games in hand on the Rangers, and they trail by 8 points. So this race, as we expected, has been a great one, and it will be great, I think, the rest of the way.
Well, it makes that game tomorrow night for the Rangers very, very important. You know, there was some concern about a possible letdown for the Rangers, you know, going into a game against Vancouver Sunday night. Vancouver out of the playoff picture, and now that becomes a very important game. In fact, the 3 home games coming up for the Rangers, all very important against Vancouver, Toronto, and Philadelphia.
They just have to be. The Rangers would like to win and win right now, Sam, and one of the reasons is that if they're able to capture first place with 2 or 3 games remaining, well, then perhaps they can rest the proper people to prepare for the playoffs.
All right. The Islanders really outworking and outskating the Rangers this afternoon, so the Rangers go back to the drawing board and do what for tomorrow night, John?
Oh, I think they just have to play their normal game on home ice, Sam. Try and get themselves ready mentally for a game. I know that not very many people around here are that familiar with the Vancouver Canucks. The Rangers will have 2 of their players that are injured, Shaw and Nyland, in Washington to scout the Vancouver Canucks. Preparation's a key, and I think that if they go and play the game that they're capable of playing, well, then they have a strong chance of winning. But Vancouver's a team, Sam, that has played a little better in the last 6 weeks than they've been given credit for. They still have some great individual talent. They try to play well defensively. Linden's starting to play a little bit. Even Krutov, the Soviet player, had a strong last month.
For the Rangers, you have to look at the goaltending situation now. John Vanbiesbrouck in his last 2 games has allowed 11 goals. We're not counting the empty net goal this afternoon. Mike Richter has been very good in his last 2, and he'll be in goal tomorrow night.
That's 16 goals in his last 3 now for John Vanbiesbrouck. Even though the game in Philadelphia where they won 7-5, he played well. And in this game, he didn't have much of a chance on most of the goals, as the Islanders were allowed to make a lot of their plays near Vanbiesbrouck's goal. I'm sure Mike Richter will get the call tomorrow. Mike Richter's been strong, and the Rangers have to start from their goaltending out and simply work and try and outwork the opposition.
One of the big stories in this game was a man we talked about right from the top for the New York Islanders, Pat Lafontaine. The Evian Natural Springwater player of the game is Pat Lafontaine with a goal and 2 assists, and he just carried his team with his great speed.
Well, he had a strong game. He worked and worked and worked. Here's the puck as it moves back towards the corner, and Lafontaine will work away from Charlesworth, set himself in front. Charlesworth went over to King, so Lafontaine was open. A little play in front. That's goal number 49 on the season, as Lafontaine tries to get his first ever 50-goal season.
A beautiful redirection by Pat Lafontaine. Islanders defeat the Rangers 6-3. We'll be back at the Nassau Coliseum in just a moment. Back at the Nassau Coliseum, Brent Sutter with a hat trick. Pat Lafontaine with a goal. Randy Wood scored 1, as did Patrick Flatley. Islanders beating the New York Rangers 6-3. The winning goaltender this afternoon, Mark Fitzpatrick, with another fine effort. And Mark Fitzpatrick has joined us in our studio. And Mark, it seems like you've played some of your best games against the Rangers here at the Nassau Coliseum.
Yeah, that's right. You know, our whole team gets pumped for the Rangers. You know, it's such a great rivalry that we have going here, and you know, it's probably what we needed to play the Rangers to get ready, everybody really ready to play this game here this afternoon.
Mark, you've had an opportunity this season to spend some time on and off with Billy Smith, the former Islander great goaltender. Tell us what he's meant to you and how much he teaches you as the season moves along.
Well, Bill Smith's been great to me. He's, you know, he's an ex-Islander great, and he knows what it takes to win, and he's trying to teach me that right now. But he's just trying to help me out with my own game. He's just trying to help me stand up more and challenge the shooters more, and perhaps use hockey stick lots more, because that's the biggest problem. That was the biggest problem that I had last year. I had trouble playing the puck and all that, but I think I improved a lot this year thanks to Bill Smith.
Mark, during this recent Islander winless streak, you've had trouble winning yourself. Was there anything that you had noticed that you had been doing differently during that stretch?
Yeah, I think I was staying back my net a lot. I wasn't challenging the shooters. I wasn't my old self, and it probably cost our team a goal a game because I wasn't making the really key saves like I was doing during our streak, and but now hopefully things are back to normal right now.
In the season series, Darren Turcotte's had some success against the Islanders. He scored 7 times against you or Glenn Healy. What do you think about his shot, and why has he had some success?
Well, Darren's a great player. I have played with Darren at this under 20 camp, and I knew right and then Darren was going to be a great player in the NHL, and Darren's got a lot of speed. He has an excellent shot, and he's going to be a big star for the Rangers in the future.
Did he surprise you with that goal, that shot early as he was falling down, that one-handed shot?
Yeah, I think he did kind of. The puck was just laying there, and I think that I thought he had thought that I was going to go for it, and I thought he was going to go for it, and I just hesitated, and as I was just going to go make my first move, he just dove for the puck and made a great shot with it.
Mark, is there anything special your team does, or do you have a sense that your team gets a little more prepared for the Rangers than you do for other teams? And one other thing, did your team try to spend extra attention to the fact that you didn't want to take bad penalties in this game?
Yes, that's right, John. The Rangers got a great power play, and they do have a lot of good shooters on the power play, and and our team came. Our team was strong from the opening face-off right until the end, and we just had to play smart against the Rangers. I think the previous game against the Rangers we didn't play that well, and we just came out flying here in the first period, and it carried on throughout the whole game.
Mark, thanks for joining us. Congratulations on a fine game, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Mark Fitzpatrick, winning goaltender for the New York Islanders this afternoon, making 25 saves as the Islanders beat the Rangers 6-3. We'll be right back. The season series is over. The Islanders winning 2 games against the Rangers this season. Let's take a look at the Budweiser goal of the game, brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood aged for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you. Darren Turcotte with a beauty here.
Well, it's his 30th goal. He's a rookie in the league, heading for a chance at the Rookie of the Year. A great effort, splitting the defense, and then finally gets his stick loose, concentrates on where the puck is, and smacks it past the goaltender, Mark Fitzpatrick, who I don't think was expecting a shot. A great play by Darren Turcotte that gave the Rangers a 1-0 lead at the time.
That's our choice for goal of the game. 2 other games this afternoon in the National Hockey League. The LA Kings rallying in the third period, down 4-1, come back and beat the Boston Bruins 5-4. Tony Granato had 2 goals in that one. Gretzky had his 40th. Ray Bourque scored 2 for the Boston Bruins. And Minnesota, Mike Modano getting his first NHL hat trick. Dave Gagne his 35th of the season, beating Pittsburgh 6-2. Other games in the NHL tonight: Vancouver at Washington, Philadelphia at Quebec, New Jersey at Edmonton. All 3 games, Rangers will be interested in those. Winnipeg at Toronto, Hartford at Calgary, Chicago at Montreal, and Detroit at St. Louis. A full schedule in the NHL this afternoon and tonight. Rangers play Vancouver tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Trevor Linden has been playing very well for the Canucks of late.
And Dan Quinn's been playing pretty well, the ex-Pittsburgh player who was traded during the midseason this year. He's played well for them. The only team not playing today or tonight is Buffalo. 10 games.
Vancouver also, Greg Adams, back from injury, has played well, always a high scorer. So the Rangers, the Canucks with nothing to lose in that game, they're out of the playoff picture, come in free and easy. The Rangers got to get off to a good start.
Another thing to think about, and it sounds a little strange, is the fact that the World Championships are coming up in April. Vancouver looks like there's no shot at them making the playoffs. Right. And right now, there's decisions going on between Alan Eagleson and the National Hockey League, etc., to try and Brian Murray will be coaching that team, the former Washington coach, and they're trying to make some decisions as to who to get to go over and play in the World Championships. If you don't make the playoffs, you certainly would like to go and represent your country, and a lot of the Canucks know that. I mean, they're trying to play hard.
Okay, that wraps it up here at the Nassau Coliseum. The Islanders defeating the New York Rangers 6-3. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Rangers and the Vancouver Canucks at Madison Square Garden will be on the air at 7 o'clock with Rangers Game Night. Coming up next here on Madison Square Garden Network, it's the Red Lobster 10K Classic. For our producer, Julie Mariash, our director, John Gallagher, associate director, Eddie Caginelli, our statistician, Garrett Rosen. For John Davidson, this is Sam Rosen. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden. Once again, the final score, the Islanders 6 and the Rangers 3. So long, everyone.
New York Rangers hockey has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light. By The Wiz. For everything in home entertainment, nobody beats The Wiz. And by the professionals at Payne Weber.